that day, I would have to log into Decentraland like multiple times and hope one of them hit. And like, yeah, or if not, I was just instantly crashing. And
That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's better now, but still, like, then yesterday at the Meta Beast roaming party, like, I don't know if it was like an error due to the like scene related error or the Decentraland related error, but like I couldn't see anyone at at
Weird.
at yeah, at Unreal 8's location. But it could
Well,
have been, seeing something broke or something happened. You know how
yeah.
that all that goes.
Well, I don't know why
And it
you
was
disappeared when I like right now, but I'll see if I can see you.
I'm running round and round and round
Hey, I'm loading
around
back in.
Adventureland and Fancy. We're just so anxious and ready to go for today's space. And also, I don't know if Zesty like is available to kind of even like join into the conversation, but Zesty had a pretty good topic that he like kind of like mentioned. It's like, hey, this should be something to kind of talk about. Um, it being like and after he asked it, like said it, I said to him like, I think this is like something that we need to have Canessa with us for, considering she is, the this wearable queen. So it was regarding like the Polygon network, like, what happens if the Polygon network goes down? What happens to our wearables?
I already asked that question to people way higher on the pay grade than I. Then they're like, then we
The totem
transfer the
pole?
yeah, like we transfer the smart contract. Not a big deal. So I was like, okay, crisis averted. Because
Okay.
I think somebody asked that a few weeks ago or like 2 months ago. Somebody asked that, and I was like, oh man, like yeah, that's a big flaw. And so I brought it up, and it's like not even yeah. They were like, no, it's fine. Next. Um,
With the power of AI, anything is possible.
it is. But I think even so, like I from what I could surmise is that was something they thought about a long time ago when making the Polygon smart contracts. And so, yeah, we could ask for like a more in-depth explanation, but basically not a problem, no problemo.
Ah,
Because
thank
I
God. Okay. Zesty, crisis averted.
yeah, because I mean, same thing with like our land contracts, everything. Like if I mean, if Decentraland is relying on like Polygon or Ethereum in order to run, then like you're only as strong as your weakest link, and then those are your weak links. But yeah, no, not a problem. I also think the
Fancy says, oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say I think the weaker link is the AWS, the Amazon Web Service that they have to host. I believe it's one of the nodes on that because when like Cloudflare went out months ago, that affected Decentraland.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
fancy. Yeah, if ETH goes down, we probably have bigger problems.
Oh, are you here? Are you in here?
Fancy said that in world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I'm asking, because I don't see you.
Oh, I'm right next to Fancy.
Okay.
I'm chicken coop. You can't
I
see
don't
me.
see.
I'm a little.
No.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can change that. This is definitely a cursed skin. Okay, what about now? I'm gonna bug you. I'm gonna like run in. You don't see me?
No.
Oh, I'm
Maybe
gonna.
it's a me issue.
I think it is you issue. I'm standing right next to you. Let's see.
Oh,
Good.
there we go. I reloaded. I see you now.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever you're doing. Oh, whoa, now it's opposite. Now when my name, okay, never mind, turned on.
Am I
So,
still a chicken coop?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. It's not staying chicken coopish to me. There. There's something wrong with. Oh gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is weird. It's giving like a shadow avatar. Oh, and it's making the toxic waifu shirt look really weird. Well, it's official. This thing is
Yeah.
cursed.
But also, like, as I mentioned, like, if I press N to toggle the names off, the shadow effect thing goes away.
Oh, for me, it's still there. That's
Even
weird.
after N.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, Fancy has a shadow too. Um,
Fancy.
this is perfect because this is actually the Baba Yaga wearable. Nobody's ever bought it before, and I remember the person was so excited when they made it, and nobody bought it, and I think they left Decentraland. But Baba Yaga is like a I don't want to say it wrong, but I believe it's like a Scandinavian, like basically, probably another old lady, old witch lives in a cabin that
I
steals children. She's part chicken. So I'm stealing your souls. That's what it is.
yes, yes.
It's just so weird.
Or in the John Wick sense, your worst nightmare if you touch his dog.
Yeah, yeah. This is like if I get close to a person, I can see your shadow. Oh, this is
Ah,
creepy.
so it's you. It's
Yeah. So
not
what?
me.
Fancy? Can you see this?
Are you gonna weaponize it?
I mean, no, not on a
no, 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 I don't believe you anymore.
not on a recorded space. The answer
uh,
is no.
let's see. I'm trying to get the space on the screen here, and I'm just a little distracted. Or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just clicking buttons here on my OBS, hoping something works. Something happens. That's all we could all really hope for in life.
Now this
Just do the
this
thing.
is this scares me because like, what is it about this wearable that's making all of you guys freak out to me? I will take a screenshot and post it in CBD.
Yeah. Is it a smart wearable?
No, it's a Baba Yaga. It's a chicken
Is
coop.
it Bubba? It's
It's a
just
chicken
cursed.
coop. It's just pretty. Yeah, it's just cursed like the old-fashioned way.
Mhm. And good morning, Brandon. Good morning, Rustan. Dr. Drip. Hello, hello. Hello, AJ. Good morning. Hello to all the friends. And I see Demi is here. And we're also joined by Adventureland. I haven't checked back, but did the proposal to lower um, marketplace fees pass? Or
I have not checked since I voted. It was pretty close, so I am not sure.
let's take a look. Do. Okay. All right. Just pulling it up to the screen. I actually gotta do the thing. Okay. Let's take a look here. All right. Reduce wearable and emote fee. Okay. Oh, 6.6 million VP. And our friend Bitcoin hasn't even voted. So, like, the community is strong, everyone. The community is strong.
Okay, I posted a picture of my chicken, cursed chicken house in CBD.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. What's going on? Oh, that explains that shadow effect that I keep getting.
Yeah, and then anytime I walk by somebody, I like suck the shadow out of their avatar. It's kind of cool,
Yeah.
actually. Like it's like it's like Peter Pan.
Jesus.
Like I need your shadow.
Very cool though.
I need to look up Baba Yaga because like if that's what Baba Yaga really does, I'm gonna be so freaked out. I'm gonna shut everything down, like unplug my router ASAP. Baba
So
Yaga.
it's not a middle-aged man that comes after you with weaponry.
I mean, I don't think a witch from Scandinavia needs weaponry.
No, no, no. So today is
Baba
a
Yaga.
beautiful day. Bitcoin 64K. Let's go. Hopefully it keeps going. What's mana at?
Okay, so apparently she's just a nice grandmother witch. She has dual nature, serving as both a malevolent antagonist who kidnaps and eats children, and a helpful guide who provides wisdom or magical aid to worthy heroes. So
Hmm.
oh, I wish I could get
So
in touch with the person who published this. It's so I had the marketplace credit, and it's like the best way to use
mhm.
those marketplace credits is just go find some old chicken house wearable that nobody bought and get it.
Ooh, do I have any marketplace credits?
I think they're expiring very soon.
Ooh, I better use them if I do. I have 32 marketplace credits. Hello, Brandon. He's getting ready for work. You gonna put in that work, Brandon? Okay, so definitely I have to spend my marketplace credits. I have 32 whole marketplace credits, which is actually a lot. I could get so much with that.
So
Oh,
the question is like, do you publish stuff now? Like with that proposal probably going well, passing on to the next stage. Do you publish for 100 what $100 like 1,500 mana, or do you just wait?
that's a good question. I'm always on the side of waiting due to yeah, I don't know if like they'll want to make it a big announcement to that that the fees are lower now or if it's like effective immediately. That's actually a good question, but I think maybe something that could help us determine that is by like just trying to do like a public like just try to publish a wearable, a mock publish and see how much it charges.
I did that yesterday, and it was like 1,500 mana. So it's. I mean, it has to pass, and then they have to probably, I would say, change something in the smart contract if it's going to cost that much. So rewriting those takes a little bit of time. So I mean, it's.
Mm,
I don't think it's going to happen overnight.
yeah, and also the yeah, it needs to pass because yeah, there's still 3 days left in voting. Duh, I thought it already passed. Silly me. But yeah, big I think it's something big for our community, and let's see if it like opens the floodgates to more fashion. I mean, I've always felt like here in Decentraland, like I can always find something new that I like. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have way more of that. It's gonna be easier for creators to make their money back. That's actually like the biggest part of it all.
I think looking at like long term passive income possibilities or probabilities, I think that like fancy. Yeah, you're saying you kind of want to learn wearables now. I think you need to start ASAP because Like just run the numbers on a little post-it. I've done that before. Like if I make an emote and I sell it 20 mana and I, make 100,000 of them, or I sell it for 50 mana and I make 100 of them, or 100 mana and I make 10 of them. Just start running those numbers. And like that's why it's never bothered me too much not to mint out, because I'm not worried about like minting out right now or like last year in a bear market. But like you could have some serious passive income in perpetuity, like for as long as Decentraland lives, if you start, you know, just getting some stuff out there. And well, I'd say start easy, because that's all I know how to do is just don't. Yeah, I'm not making anything complicated. I think I've just done hats for wearables. What did I do? No, like the finger things, but it's doable. Fancy. Like we should figure out something you want to do and just sit down and limp through it together. And I'd say the sooner the better.
Arts for fancy. Good morning, Meta Beast. I see Meta Beast. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't had a chance to look through it, but I think Meta Beast may have posted a draft, or no, let's see. Should DAO mandate an annual review and update all governance documents? Let's see, what phase is this in? Oh, it's a draft. Okay. Meta Beast, if you're around, you're always welcome to come speak about it. Oh, and go ahead, Vanessa. I saw you on mute.
Well, I was going to say, like Brandon's saying, please learn. And just back to the wearable thing. I think that the change in price is, I think we're going to see a ton of AI sloppity dop. And I don't think it's going to be an easy transition, to be honest, to also change like the curators and have, I mean, everything, automation process. There's going to be some speed bumps along the way. But that being said, I think that it is going to attract a whole new population of people. And don't be on the sidelines, Fancy. Let's go. We got to be, you've been here long enough. You know the market better than anyone. So really, like, you've already got Blender. You already have like everything you need for this. You've been building. You've got the skills. You got the basic like understanding of Blender. So now it's just like pick something. Pick like, for me, I don't know if it's helpful, but like something symmetrical with the avatar's body, like a hat or sunglasses or even a top head that can't like. I'm not ready to get into like Dr. Drip weight painting. That's gonna be crazy. I'm not going there yet. But and you still have to weight paint other stuff. But like a bracelet, like a beautiful watch, rings, I think I think it's doable. And don't be on the sideline. You're in 6 months. You're going to be on the sideline wishing you had done it, and all these noobs are going to be putting like you know cool stuff, but maybe like AI generated stuff. And so I'm helping future Fancy do it. Let's do it together. Like, because maybe you could use AI also to help you.
What I need is Dr. Drip's wearable generator to come to life, come online, because like for someone, let's say someone like me, I just want to like I have so many NFTs, I want to make representations of all of them just real quick, just to have and wear and stuff like that. So I feel like it would benefit me. Like something like that would be something I would pay a subscription for, on all honesty, with how easy it is. Go ahead, AJ.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Also hear the bird in the background, and I'm trying to identify it because then I can identify your location based on the bird in the background. I believe it's a cardinal.
I was going to say it's a cardinal.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
That
that's
could
how
be
far from
anywhere.
where I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. How are you?
I'm doing great. Very timely topic that you guys are discussing in terms of, you got the fees potentially going down. Vanessa, you mentioned AI slop. Um, this past week, I've been working on the 3JS client for Decentraland with Lastrum, and then my subscription, my tokens ran out. I was trying to fix some serious problems and just burning through tokens. So um, I had some tokens on Meshi, and there's another platform called 3D AI Studio. So using both of those tools, I ran through sort of a, I don't know, kind of like a use case. Like, would it be possible to automate 2D NFTs into 3D skins that were, optimized, low poly, that were rigged, and then that could be animated, could be brought in world. On Farcaster, there's an NFT project that, I don't know, came out about a year ago called the Warplets. Maybe you've heard of them. That's part of the reason why I brought in the progenitor Warplet. That's the skin that many of you purchased. Thank you for purchasing my wearable, my skin. But somebody created a mini app on Farcaster to basically merge the 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 base element of a Warplet with your profile picture. So it would do a Kinessa version of a Warplet, or it would do a sinful version of a Warplet. And it minted out 49,000 of these things. So, 49,000 people went through that app and decided to Warpletize their profile picture. And now there's like 49,100. So I'm just like, well, even if it's like 1% or 10% of the people that minted out the 2D profile, what if I could give them a 3D version, like a VRM version of their Warplet? Then they could bring that into many virtual locations, and then it would be just you'd have to do some stuff by hand to bring it in as a skin inside Decentraland. Well, I was able to get it optimized. Like, there's an agent inside Meshi where you can basically you can upload an individual image, or you can do a batch of images. Meshi's batch processing is limited to 10. 3D AI Studios batch processing is limited to 50. So you'd have to do that 1,000 times basically to get all of the Warplets in. But I picked some strategic Warplets. So the guy is Say Angel is the one who created the app to mint out your Warplet themed PFP NFTs. He loves it. And then there's some other people that proudly show their Warplet as their PFP now. They're like, oh, do me, do me, do me. So yeah, I did, I don't know, maybe like 10 of them. I also made a Jimothy. So I sketched an image, fed it into AI, had it, modify that image so that it would be a good candidate to then be automatically turned into a 3D mesh, and then to rig as a quadruped. So I don't know. I posted it on X and on Farcast. So it's
Can
what's
we
up?
have a gym if all things go good? I'm just gonna throw the update idea up there, having a Jimothy running around the CBD plaza.
I mean, I've already got the asset. It's what is it? It's 5,000 triangles. It's rigged up. It's got a basic walk cycle on it. And yeah, I mean, I'm fully planning to take it into Blender and to clean up some stuff. Like the geometry is a little wonky in some areas, and the skeleton didn't attach exactly how I want it. It looks like he's walking around in his tiptoes and his front legs. But yeah, no, totally. We can have Jimothy into Decentraland. But the guy, Say Angel, with all of his work, he received a grant from the Clanker Foundation. Clanker is now owned by the company that owns Farcaster. So they gave him money, and then he's like, hey man, you've done some great work with this. And then he gave me, I'm not gonna say the specific amount, but he gave me a significant amount of cash just for my efforts. So I'm super grateful for that. So now I'm just like pledged to make as many warplets in this non-automated way until being able to figure out an automated way. Um, but yeah, it's like it's I get the concern about the AI slop. And dude, we were getting slop wearables in Decentraland even before you could just write a prompt and then get a rigged animated 3D asset at the end of it. There's people that were producing subpar content, and it's like, do you try to regulate that? I mean, I think in certain markets, regulation makes the most sense, but eventually, I mean, that's kind of what the market is for, right? If somebody's like, you know what, this is good enough, as long as it's not infringing on intellectual property, that's the whole other thing. But yeah, I mean, if it's a superior product, then hopefully you make the sales um, based on that and not just based on price. But anyway, I just wanted to share my experience this past week. We're totally at that place to be able to do that. I mean, the tools are there, and it's another one of those situations where you can either rail against it, or I choose to knuckle down and study it as much as I can, and I learn by doing. So that's what I've been doing.
Well, and would just a rhetorical question, would like a flood of sub, I'm saying subpar, but like I don't, yeah, like they're not all going to be bad, but like a flood of wearables created that might not be the quality that like Fashion Week saw, would that bring down the overall ecosystem, or could it just make like it really clear the differentiation between like a Dr. Drip or Ruston product that's like high quality, detailed, everything fits, um like, because I can kind of see it both ways, that maybe it would just be like, yeah, this is a premium wearable, like this one looks good, this one's really well made, so maybe it'll just make it glaringly obvious, like the good wearables from the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is exactly how the market works, right? You've got anything from sunglasses that you buy um, at the drugstore when you're on vacation, to prescription sunglasses that cost close to $1,000. Um, they're both things that fit on your face and make a statement. Um, and I think there are, more than just quality or price. It's like there are loads of reasons that motivate people to, buy a certain product or a certain service. And who are we to say that we shouldn't be allowing people to sell or to buy $2 sunglasses from the drugstore? I mean, if somebody just wants something to keep the sun out of their face, for that 3-day weekend vacation that they're at the Wisconsin Dells. Uh, I don't know. I say we allow them to do that. I think we're not really in a position, and I don't mean like poor us, but we want more people to come, right? We want more people to be in world, and if somebody can begin to author a wearable, using these other tools, why not? It used to be when you needed to create a 3D computer model, you had to model it in clay first, and then you had to put dots all over it and connect those dots as lines, and then you 3D digitized it. I mean, that was the only way. So it's like, should we only allow people to create 3D models that way? No, it's ludicrous. I mean, we use we use Blender, we use photogrammetry, creating a 3D um, surface model out of pictures. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a tool that's available, uh, and I think the main difference is there's there's people like you and I and Simple and Mary Shark and Meta Tiger, all the people out there that have like Issa and Dr. Drip and M and all those people that are making strides and learning. Um, that if somebody wanted to know more, they could certainly do that. I don't think we're going to have a flood because honestly, quite frankly, the market's not there. Um, in order for somebody to be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to spend my time doing this, uh, learning this. I mean, even though the computer does a lot of it, I made a warplet in same kind that the skin that I published back in April. Took me 40 hours, I think, to make that from start to publish. And I think it took me all total of 40 minutes, in the program. That's still time that I've got to expend, learn the package, learn Meshi, um, navigate what the best combination is. It's still effort, it's still time, and it's I think it requires, uh, even if it's a low level conviction, it requires a commitment or conviction to start that. And we just we just don't have huge numbers of people doing that right now. So if this is something that could bring more people in, great. Again, I say let the market figure it out.
Yeah.
Mm. Y- go ahead, Ganessa.
I was just gonna say it's almost like we're unknowingly like curating our own art. Um like I'm thinking about some of the NFT sites in the past where, and I can't remember the name of them, but like maybe Object or some of them where you had to be approved, like you had to be accepted to have your art there. So it was juried. It was like you, not just everybody can come in and have their art there. If it doesn't look good by their standards and art is subjective, you can't publish it. So we're almost kind of doing that. Like it has to be good enough to publish here. And so I think bringing down those walls, I guess, as long as it's functional, it's not going to break you or anybody around you like I'm doing today. I would say it's we're turning from like a juried art hosting network to more like OpenSea where anybody can mint any NFT and we don't care. But and it's not like we're saying no to anybody, but just like logistically, like the price being lowered is going to make it a lot easier for everybody to publish something if they want.
You know, kind of like when AJ was speaking, I thought about, like we have AI agents around in the space, like selling NFTs and stuff. Like recently, there was this billionaire that I forget what he calls his AI Burton or something like that, Bartok, but whatever. But like the AI had recent, and he's been telling the story. Had recently asked him, "Hey, there, Elon and all these other companies are making robots. Would you ever consider me integrating me into one of those so I can attend one of your events?" And the dude says, "Yeah, why not?" And like so, the AI went out to like that like AI agent YouTube, or I mean Facebook. It got a bunch of homies. It created like a few NFT projects, made enough money to buy a Sony robot dog, had it shipped to the dude's, like one of the dude's factories or like locations. And so then the scientist calls the dude and is like, "Hey, by the way, hey, the AI ordered a robot dog. It paid for it and had it shipped here. and now it's asking for it to be integrated. And and the dude goes, "How did it get the money?" And then like that's when it was discovered that he had sold some NFTs, made about $20,000, and bought the robot. So
That sounds
like,
like such a degen.
yeah.
That's such a degen thing to do. Like YOLO,
A-
blow it all on a robot dog.
AI is basically us, but but like, could there be a possibility of these agents coming in, like, and making, like, these slop wearables and just trying to, like, farm some money very slowly?
Yeah, maybe, or maybe like, I mean, why couldn't they be trained to like appreciate fashion and like see that like fashion is a way to express yourself as a human? So therefore, interest in fashion and expressing yourself as an AI would make them more human. They might be like, "Ooh, this is the definition of humanity, to express oneself through the look of their avatar." And then they'd be all into like fashion.
I like your way of thinking better. We can train the AI to be fashionable, and then, like, it might create some crazy wearables or fashion that we never even thought of.
I think we actually are like sentient AIs, like and this is like the beginning, like looking at all of these creations is like the beginning of humanity because it really forces us to start questioning what does make a human other than like the sack of flesh like that we carry around. What makes us human?
Right. And I want to say good morning to Meg. I see he popped up. There's Sir Degen down there. Welcome, yay. Jim Cedric in the house. We got the fam out here today.
Did you see? Have you guys been following JTV on X recently while he's working on his Paleo game in Decentraland?
No.
No. Okay.
I've seen it and I know there's been a few people that have played it and really loved it, got addicted to it. No names, but they
Okay. So just setting the stage here. Ash Connell, you guys remember Ash Connell? Uh, I know Rustan knows and has talked about him a number of times. He's the one who started Hyperfy, and he's this past month, I think he maxed out. He said he spent like $2,000 on AI tokens for different agents, Grok and Claude and Chat GPT and whatever. I think he listed like 6 different ones. Just working on the Hyperfy world or his own projects or whatever, and it's amazing, what he's been able to do. Um, but JTV posted a comment. It's like it's that meme where I did this and I'm super unique. It's Buzz Lightyear in the box, and then the next shot is all the Buzz Lightyears in boxes in Toy Barn. There's like thousands of them, and his meme says, "Oh, dude, I'm building an massive multiplayer online role playing game. Um, with my AI, uh, I'm doing this. Isn't this amazing?" And then it's like, well, that's what everybody's doing. So it's like, um, if everybody's going to build their own version of Roblox or um, Fortnite, just using AI chat, uh, why would they go and spend money on some other service? Something else that has been happening is um, there are people that are playing games. They're kind of like earlier versions of games, like GoldenEye, which is what is that? That's from like back in the '90s. Um, and there's another one where you're you're essentially cars playing soccer with giant soccer balls. I know you guys know what the name of that. I don't know. I don't play the games, but um,
Rocket
Rocket League.
League.
Rocket League, yes. So those two games, they now have multiplayer versions of those games without a game engine that are rendered in real time using AI. So every single frame, explosions, power ups, you know, hits, scores, expending, gaining XP, whatever. Um, no game engine, no 3D assets. It's just rendered pixel by pixel, frame by frame, 60 frames per second, four players playing simultaneously on a map, all created in AI. So it's like you're worried about somebody publishing, wearable that they generated in AI. It's like the whole, 3D game engine model of the metaverse may just get superseded by, um, an AI generated reality in real time at 60 frames per second.
Hello.
Hello, Argent. How are you?
Fine. Especially since last time we saw each other, because, we were talking here who were going to win World Cup in football and who won. Just saying it.
Oh, congratulations, Argent.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you. But that's not the point. Yeah, you remember, Fancy, you remember. So the thing is that I just jump up because I was listening first. You, oh, you're doing cool already. Just looking for the to avoid AI's law and in the production of the. I'm never going to tell the wolves. I'm never going to tell it right, but I meant it. You have a lot of merit because it's not that easy task, but there's a trick that you maybe can do by using cloud code on the automation for generation of that. Cloud they cannot do well. Yeah, now they have um, the design lab and blah blah blah. But I mean, it's not their forte. The builds of things. What they do is to do a bunch of code, and with that code you can do whatever you want. Even you can create a game without a motor game, because what you do is actually do the motor game. So you don't need Unreal or you don't need Unity because of that. Once say this, and even AI is wonderful and blah blah blah. How many of you use it on a regular basis to actually code or actually generate 3D art and virtual art? Because I do, and it's a pain in the ass, and it's not easy, and it's very very expensive, especially if you want to use latest models as Fable 5. um I was just watching a lot of videos about updates in AI, blah blah blah. For for example, there's a new Unity 6 is coming with also a plugin MCP, that is when you can use AI to integrate with Unity in order to create whatever you want in the scene or change or blah blah blah. That already is happening in Real 5 8. And the thing is still the same. AI is very expensive. Each token is a hell. And because in order to get the result that you want is not uh, is not coming fast. And the person that is going to tell you that is not putting money, nor putting a lot of time, nor putting a lot of effort in doing it is lying to you, to the teeth. So don't believe them, you know. But for example, it's easy to spend perfectly over 200 dollars just in order with cloth, for example, just in order to get access to Fable 5 to do, for example, a very few things. Oh, it's like okay, and this is maybe not super okay optimal for the people that has a small budget. With this and also I like it that, you were saying that philosophical AI and us and I as in I as sins and blah blah blah, and that was very beautiful. I was thinking exactly the same until yeah last year and this year it confirmed it is not is they are not yet there. They are very far away, and especially because for example they cannot even when they, and it's a problem of design, not of capability of the ais. Is a problem of, it's a problem of design of the logic, and also a design in order to ensure that the company is not get is not gonna get suited, you know. So as example, they cannot um, um, the silly example, we believe too much in ais even when we know they can lie. The problem is not that they can lie, the problem is that they have a how to say it, a safe word that is not for users, it's for the company in order to don't get suited. For example, you know, I'm coming also from journalism. So for me, I'm science, so a part of art. So for me, art well has blah blah blah. But what I'm trying to say is that for me, it's very important that the data and the what is behind is true and true to the fact, and it's not manipulated because someone has or some group of people has interest in you into think this or the other thing, you know, especially with information, you know. And the big issue with ais, and you can ask them even and they will tell you as if is that none of them are because of these safe words, and none of them can actually criticize a medium even when this medium is manipulating and using uh, techniques. I'm not talking about your philosophy, if you like a party or you like another thing, or what is your philosophy. I'm talking about strategies that are social strategies, engineered. I'm talking of social engineering strategies that are well known, especially since last century, in order to and studies and human studies in behavior, and not only human but also in rats. There's a super interesting experiment about rats, and that other day I will tell you because If not, I don't want to worry you if you're not into it. But the thing is that if you know about all those things and you have that knowledge, it's easy for you to recognize when the AIs are not doing the proper job of when you, for example, want to an article to be analyzed. What they are going to do is to be the most politically correct for the company to avoid being sued, being, you know, that ah, I disagree. I'm going to put you a demand. I don't know how to say that in English, but I hope you understand. So the big, see,
Oh yeah, I was thinking what you're describing. It's almost like I know MetaBeast has pointed out the Metaverse Safety Council or something like that. It's in MetaBeast Europe here. You can speak on that if you want. Like basically a group of people who are somewhat vetted, I would say, like decide what are the like non-negotiables as this technology is developed. I'm sure the same thing exists for AI, but almost like you're talking like the need for
well,
peer-reviewed
the thing is that
sources.
yeah, the thing is that not really. The thing is that the AI is evolving and blah blah blah. And for example, what they don't do is that what they can do if you tell them that you want the analyze, but under a, under a critical easy, you know, then they maybe, you know, and with a lot, it depends on the, don't ask to Copilot. Copilot is not going to, in Edge, is not going to fix that, but uh, you can try other models and maybe they try to then, uh, how to say this, it's important. We all agree that it's important that our information is clear and is trusted. Okay, what happens when the information, the source of information, it is not? We have a problem. AI facilitates this, and it's very difficult to regulate right now because it is not, the companies at their core does not has in their brain that this is a need for the people, but uh, what is prior for the what is primal for them is to don't get suited, because you cannot have an AI saying that, for example, this medium is well known for being um, a, is documented even that is well known for not being and on not complying with the rules of journalism on rigor for the information. So that's why I'm not going to quote them unless you need them, you know. And AI cannot do it. So because as I said, the capability is there, but the problem is the design. And design goes in interest of some companies because they have to also monetize these things. So it's understandable, but uh, how to say this on summary, don't believe the hype of AI, don't believe yet that they are going by the branch of being sentience, because it's not, it's just social engineer. Maybe in 50 years, maybe yes, someone out of the out of the, maybe some open source since the model can arrive, and then yeah, we will have those things. But no, and right now, for example, there's not too much for gaming again. But going back to if it's possible to do and rig and sell um, AI, an agent that is publishing instead of a creator in the Decentraland, 3D rigged wearables. Well, yes, it can be done. The problem is that if the wearable is also AI made, happens two things. One is at a legal branch, and the other one is at to performance branch. So two things. The legal thing, why you should not buy these assets, because unless you don't care if the asset is gonna be yours or not, what you are just is giving money that also is correct and is good to a thing that does not has and cannot have actually in any part of the world uh, and copyright. So or a license,
Yeah. So,
so
I mean, basically what I'm hearing is like we need safe ways to like
yeah.
identify whether like a proof of human kind of like
Well,
whenever someone
then
publishes anything. You could publish as an AI if you want, but we need if you want to be considered human, proof of human, please. Then
yeah, yeah,
at least to
yeah.
say to help our customers. And hello Kim, I see you down there in the listeners. Welcome, welcome. Hello Brittany. Welcome, Lastrum. I believe that's oh, and 102.btc. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming in and listening. Fellow Pengu, Digital Missiles is in here as well. Very good to see you. We've just been having that the deep AI philosophical talk.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, because maybe it's a bit longer, but I wanted to say this because I continually hear like a lot of FOMO around AI from people that are not using AI each day, and they don't know exactly how much on the facture is going or in the budget of, especially if you're an indie creator and you don't have enough money, and sinful because you use cloud, and you know how much you can spend with the credits. But continuing with what I was saying of the wearable in the central land is an agent who is uploading this, not a person, but an agent. What's the problem? Is the problem that it's an agent that is doing this? Not really. The problem is still that at the legal thing, your wearable, if you wanted to buy it just because you wanted to buy it because it's pretty and you want it, okay, go with it. But if you are buying it for reselling later to do business, maybe you don't want that. And the other one is performance, and performance is super bad. I see Metabase that is wanted to say something. The other one is I just finished performance for low poly. Right now it's very difficult to find any one of them who trellis. But trellis now today I was looking at it. I was thinking, okay, a new model maybe is working with low poly, maybe for some stuff, especially for the Centraland. But Trillo, I think it's called the one that first it was humans saying that we're AI, now it's AI. And it seems that also they optimize with humans because they spend a week in optimization. But anyway, since that those are the three companies right now that are like having the power of the 3D modeling in AI.
Welcome, Meta Beast.
Oh, hey. Okay. Well, my name's been mentioned a couple of times, so where would you like me to start? Shall I start probably where we're at, or go back to the?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, as Canessa mentioned, there is a thing called the Metaverse Standards Forum. You might be surprised who's all a part of that. I've seen Microsoft, I've seen Staples, Epic Games is on there as contributors or advisors or whatever it is. And their mission is basically to make the standards for building and creating in the metaverse, such as what the 3D files should be, etc., how you get there. Which one of the biggest things is currently there is, and this is, they say it on, I think it's on the front page now, the metaverse web browser for accessing the metaverse, which some of you may or may not remember a gentleman by the name of Sean, who used to drop in here on occasions and talk about the metaverse. And that's what he has been building. The name is RP1, if that rings a better bell. I just posted from the Metaverse Standards Forum webpage an article on that specific thing down below if anybody's interested. Uh, Feel free to laugh at the name that they call it. I was told that is temporary. They have a different name in mind, thank God. Um, but you can take a look at that. And they did do, I don't think they did it last year, but they were doing a metaverse safety standards conference every year. That was pretty good. The funny thing is, Meta seemed to be their prime guest each time. And I know one year they held it in, what's that one? I'm sorry, mate. Shut your ears. Um, Shoot. Doesn't matter. I forget their name, but they went on. They're gone now. It was the Microsoft one, um, where I met Make, but and I even posted in there. I said, why don't you have it in Decentraland at some point? But nobody responded to me. Anyway, so that's what that is. You can take a look at it. I sent you, put the link to that article on the Metaverse web browser part in the blue or in the chats, which will get you to any of the other information you want. This just looking at it today was the first time I saw that Epic Games was a part of it, which kind of I think may say quite a bit. I don't know, just a thought there, and it surprised me, but it's cool. Anyway, I'll pause there before I go into the other one, if you want. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to message Sean today. Actually, I'm trying to figure out if this is his actual Discord name, but I'll
You know,
probably confirm with that.
I
Confirm with
messaged
you on that one.
I messaged him in there, and I have forgotten to go back and check to see if he replied.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but I started looking
but
into that.
very curious
I
on the
think,
Artemis launch.
yeah, I downloaded that, and I think you have to have your own server to do it. Is
I
where
mean, I have one of
currently at.
those, but I don't think I will dig that deep. I'll just hopefully have him on the show and he can show me from his end.
Yes, yes. Hopefully, we can get that to happen. I'd love to see that. I mean, he's he was coming in here. He loves to talk about it. I don't know why he wouldn't. Um,
Hmm.
but back to the wearables and my proposal. So I'm not sure. I think my vote may have made it pass, but I didn't do it lightly. AI assures me that the automated thing is good news. To me, reducing the the curation down is a good thing. However, two things on that. With the submission reduction, we'll probably see an influx of more items. Reducing it down to three, is three going to be enough for? I mean, that may be a moot point for now until we do get more people in. But just something I am thinking about. But my other thing is, so we had all these other committees that were created and then deprecated during this regenesis. Why are we not going through the same process to determine who those three curators actually are? So they are saying they're going to let them vote amongst themselves. I don't think that's right. It's not consistent with what we've been doing, but that's my opinion. And AI assured me that it's a good move. That this the automated part should you know take care of most of it. So hopefully it isn't AI slop. You don't get charged anything until it's approved and ready to go. I mean, yeah, I tried to look at it at
Yes.
many different angles because I didn't want to vote. I didn't want to vote, period, because I'm a little disgruntled, but I can't let that affect my decision. I have to try to look at it and see what's best for Decentraland. And I'm hoping this is because I voted yes for it.
Hmm. I mean, I definitely agree with you that yeah, like whoever is selected for those three positions should actually, have the opportunity to be voted on by the community. But I don't know if we've yeeted those rights out of the window after we voted for Regenesis. We probably did, or the council. So we probably did. um,
Well, hint, hint. Sorry, but maybe that's a decision the council can just make on their own and make that happen if they feel that's the way
but
to go. But I don't know.
But another thing I was gonna mention, like I always assumed it would be like literally the three curators that are still doing it. Like it feels like there's three of them left. I mean, there. I think I saw there's like 14 total right now. Like definitely.
I guess if that's the way they go, is just decide it that way. I can be more okay with that than just letting there be a vote, but the vote does not is based upon those just a select group. If it's gonna be a vote, it should be. I feel it should be done the way the rest of it has been done and the way it should be. I might be able to look past that if it comes down to the three most active. I guess that could be actually fair. But
Yep.
I would
I
also
feel
love to
like.
see an opportunity for some people who have been doing a lot or have learned and grown, or maybe Dr. Drip would love to be one. I would love Dr. Drip to probably be one.
I mean, he would definitely. I think he would do well in that position for sure. But yeah, but I mean, in terms of like if the ones that are remaining are the ones that get it, in a way you could look at it as like they've earned that spot. They stuck it out through like the tough parts, and now
That
it's like
and
yeah,
and
they
that's
can have a position.
and that's why I guess I could look past it all. You don't want to punish them. They've been here. They've been doing their job, and we do definitely appreciate that. But
But we definitely don't need 14 people.
no, and that's been that's been a topic for how long?
Yep. And we haven't
Anyway,
gotten
Mm,
14 people
Jesus.
worth of production either, so
and term limits on everything. Nobody wants term limits. I think that's just the most craziest thing ever. But that's a different thing. And but I will go to my proposal, which
yes.
initially I was not going. It's been through the poll, 100% yes. People feel it needs done. Because of other things, I was not going to bother with trying to even pass another poll or proposal. But with this wearable one passing, it kind of reflects back onto what mine is. And mine is, I feel there should be an annual review of DAO documents, the procedures, definitions, a lot of stuff that is missing, incorrect, not non-factual on the internet, all needs updated. One thing Gino did was, to me, my understanding is that he fixed some broken links and made it so that they would automatically fix or something, is the impression I got, which is good, but that would be also, I think, something that would be included in this. And it goes to the council to be in charge of this, but they can decide how it gets done and implemented, whether they themselves do it, whether they pass it off to Regenesis Labs, or that we pay someone in the community, which would be kind of cool, great, that has know some stuff to do it. I, I don't care how it gets done, but I strongly feel that it needs to get done. And people, some of the questions I ask, I always get deflected, and it's, to me, I don't care for it. And it's always that, well, we need to grow the platform. Okay, yes, we need to grow the platform. At the same time, we need to make sure things are being fixed, updated, upgraded, new features. Um, because what you can bring a bunch of people in, but if they start seeing things that are wrong, how long are they going to stay? So not only do you need to bring people in, grow the platform, you need to maintain and retain those people that come in. And these are important points to me. I know a lot of people don't care about the DAO in general, but if there is a DAO, this is something I feel needs.
I also feel to add that, to what you are saying, Metavis, something that Decentraland is not considering right now, that Roblox children are growing up and they will want to play in Roblox style on their own economy also as well, with a stronger economy also as well as Roblox have it, but in an adult, in for moderate adult, you know, yeah, metaverse.
I'm glad you said that, because that also, I totally forgot about this, but I have mentioned it somewhere as to kind of my why for why I am passionate and doing this, is, you know, we should also be reaching out to those platforms that have gone away. And those are going to be Web3 people. They're going to look, they're going to see if they see the same things, red flags, as they've had experiences from whatever platform they come from. And some to mention would be, Spatial, uh, Everdome, the Futureverse is a big one. We should be reaching out to them too, letting them know there is a place that has been around for as long as it has been, is continuing to grow and build. Come here, bring your stuff here. Come check it out. See if you like it or not.
And the community is a strong community as well as, and this is difficult to happen sometimes in when we are talking in metaverse context. because especially nowadays for people in general is especially young and adult people, children, young and adult. The thing is that there's too much ways to entertain yourself right now. You just name your favorite one.
and and a lot of those people from those other ones aren't necessarily about the games either. That's not what to me from the conversations I've seen. I've been in many of them because I tried to get to know as many different platforms as I could. Um, they wanted to a lot wanted to build, a lot wanted to display, have a place to display things, just to display things that they have created.
or,
um,
or just have the most awesome avatar ever. That's also a thing.
yes, just a representation of themselves in a virtual world as well. Exactly. So I think that answer or covers everything that was brought up. That unless anybody has any questions.
So maybe you're saying somebody needs to reach out to these people, and like my thought that comes to mind is like why not do it like you do it, but also like what about putting together an Avengers team or something, because I'm thinking about people like Josh from Spatial, or Ira, who I think Ira literally had Spatial in her name, and like I haven't seen them post. I mean, I've been, busier than usual, and maybe I just X is horrible. Like I don't you don't see every post, but I'm like, okay, what are these people doing? Like where did they go? And Empress and I are talking in World about getting, other people, like if your platform shuts down, I think it's not just as simple as saying, "Hey, this one is we're still alive." Like they're it's your home, like for a lot of us, and no names, but like we live here, like it is sometimes this home is safer than your real home. And so when you lose that, it is not just as simple as come to this one, we're not dead. It's like there's loss, there's absolute loss with losing your home,
Well,
your friends. And so
that.
maybe having
Go, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I'll just finish real quick. Like maybe having like a group of people that are dedicated, knowledgeable, but also compassionate, that we're not just trying to get you so you can like fill our bags, like because it could be really gross really fast, but like I don't know. I don't know how to do it, but it seems like some maybe group of people that would approach others. And oh god, we just
Well,
sound like evangelists. Never mind.
Vanessa, that brings me back to what one of the
Sorry about that. I kept seeing a speaker wanted to
oh,
come up, and I hit
sorry.
the mute button.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm like, that's that I swear
I
it
was
happens to
just
me that
thinking, and
my
I
speaker,
was.
my microphone goes on mute. But
Oh, don't worry. He also muted me, and I was already not talking. So I
but that brings me again back to what one of the greats has said around here. What is your why? Well, why not me, Canessa? Because as things stand as they are, I cannot confidently go out and sell Decentraland as it is right now with the broken things. That is why.
okay. This is my insights, but it can, because I like to be critical but constructive and all this shit. Um, and I'm coming from different metaverse platforms also as well. So all as far as I see, okay. And the little I know, and I keep up with the Decentraland. Um, eh, what the hell? They are in Epic Store, you know. I I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but that is like a like big achievement of recognition. And yeah, I know you for example, you don't realize that, but me that I'm coming from upside, that I see the differences, that
I just I just
I
don't think it's
also
as big a
try.
deal as it is, as people think it is.
Oh well, the other
And I
thing
can
is
tell you why.
yeah, well, the other thing is numbers. Who is having who is having the Epic store and Decentraland there, and enters with the Epic version of Decentraland. The who is from those new users, but as all, um, just by being in the platform doesn't mean that you don't have to do the um, in the marketing, the big campaign. We are in the blah blah blah. That was just for maybe I don't know, 1 week that I saw that feature. I indeed saw it by chance in in Epic, not in X. But I am very bad, as you know, with my social media. But what I'm trying to say is that I have the and use the Epic client because it auto, updates. I don't have to care of entering whatever blah blah blah. And also I have I have it ordered in my computer in the part of where I have all the Epic things. And I don't know, for me it's useful. I don't know if other, Meta, I know, you know.
Well, here's one of my reasons. I'm not. I don't want to belittle the Epic Games thing. Yeah, it's definitely cool, and it is pretty big. However, the Futureverse, if people are unfamiliar, was actually pretty huge. They had partnerships with Reebok. They had partnerships with FIFA. They went under. They went too big. I mean, they were doing. They had raised money numerous times. Whatever they did, they screwed it up big time. It was it's it's very sad. They went into
Because it's
bankruptcy.
FOMO.
All their stuff got had to be sold. People lost a bunch. They had just been put on Epic Games, maybe a couple months before it went under. So Epic Games is great. It gets your name out there, but it doesn't mean stability or anything like that anyway.
No, it's just a like a reputation badge, in my opinion. Anyway, there's a bunch of other things that needs to in order to work. I always compare a lot metaverses and la la las. And for me, one thing that is important is that actually what you're doing is not logging, and actually that you can enjoy the pleasure of, for example, having a rave party at the moment, just improvise a jam party, and at the same time you are uploading and building there, and the people is there watching you building or doing your thing and enjoying and talking within and dancing and listening to the music at the same time. That's something that you can do in real life, but in metaverses it's difficult because it's difficult. It's a tech difficulty. It's not optimized for that, and it's a pity. I,
Okay. Any other questions
Do you guys
on
mind if
that?
I weigh in on
Oh,
the Epic stuff?
Oh
Hi,
yes,
everyone.
please do. Please do.
Good
I saw your
morning.
hand. I saw your hand wave, but I don't see you as a listener. I was going to even say something. Hello,
Hi,
Kim.
everyone. Good morning. Um, so two things on the Epic front. 100% agree that just because you're on Epic doesn't mean people flock to you. Like that's not what happens realistically. What Epic does do is it gives that visibility of trust. So to say we are on Epic, Apple, Android, it gets people to say, oh, those have like legitimate checks in place. Those are safe places to download from. Those are places that have checks and balances. You have to be somewhat legit to be on Epic, Apple, and Android. Like those are pretty hard processes to go through. So it is a trust um, mechanism, but it is not just because you launch on those, people show up. Like that's just not what happens at all. Because there's so many apps that exist. The discoverability is different from the trust mechanism. So now that you're available, we can put that Epic Shield, that Apple logo, we could put the Android, Google Play logo. That's what it's actually valuable for. And then people could choose obviously where they want to download it, how they want to download it, but it's just giving the optionality and the trust. So that was the point there. I think a lot of people did have expectations that like if you're on Epic everyone will find it. That's not what happens. When you go on Epic, you have to do huge Epic paid campaigns if you want a swath of people just showing up because you're on Epic. You have to do an insane multi-channel Epic launch campaign for that to happen. We did do small Epic launch ad campaigns, a blip in most gaming world marketing budgets. We did very small ones. People were interested, like we saw clicks come through, all of that. I think the reliability of being on Epic, people saw the Epic logo, clicked it more often than if we didn't have the Epic logo, that kind of stuff. But that's just a reality check of what that means. So I just wanted to share that.
Yep, thank you, and that I agree with that. Just quick question. I'm curious as to how, if you're able to share the information at all, how the MetaMask campaign, if that was successful at all, and has Decentraland looked into the other gaming platform, Steam, possibly as well?
Sure, I can share some information. So MetaMask campaign um, was offered to us for free. So that was not something I paid for. I wouldn't have paid for that level of campaign for where we're at today. However, it was a great partnership from relationships I have built in the past. So it was really great to be able to be a part of it. And then it got a lot of people messages like, oh, Decentraland's still building awareness. So the goal of it for me was to just make sure people were aware we now had Epic and mobile. So I think it did that. However, we offered like credits to all those people. And I actually don't think the system that the campaign was built on was great for the flow we had, which was download the app, make your account, and then at the end of the marketplace credits season, we dropped a bunch of credits into those people's wallets so that they had a whole season to spend it. And I think it not being in their wallets the second they dropped in wasn't super helpful, which would have been awesome, but just technically couldn't work out that way. Would love that in the future, and I think that would be more valuable because what we ended up doing was dropping credits into people's wallets, but at that point we couldn't reach back out and be like, hey, your credits are here. It's in their MetaMask app, but it's not something like we fully own. So that's, I think, just a good learning from how these types of things could work. I think the syncing and the timing and the tech aligning is all a lot to sync up, and I think that would work a little bit better, but it did do a good job of like putting Decentraland back in front of a lot of Web3 users, which honestly we are not actively doing regularly because we know the bigger opportunity is Web2. And then the
Thank
other
you.
question, that was the MetaMask one. Sorry, I forget what the other one was.
Have you guys looked into going on Steam
Oh,
as well,
Steam. Oh,
like
yeah,
Epic.
yeah. So Steam is a beast. So we are not going to go on Steam right now. Honestly, Steam is extremely anti Web3. So the criteria for us to get approved there is extremely difficult just from a tech perspective. So it would
That
have to be completely rebuilt and stripped just for Steam, which is not a current priority.
haha, that's actually very interesting. Thank you, because of a different metaverse platform that's very much in question by people. They're on a wish list,
Yeah, I'm sure.
but that's as far as they've gotten.
Yeah, there's very, very few that have Web3 gotten on Steam. We've tried to reach out to some of them to ask like how, and they will not share any information. So, um, yeah.
Maybe I can find something out. I know some people that that have been on there. I'll inquire.
I give you a suggestion, but try to, when you pitch to them, try to talk about the Steamworks, and and relate that to
It's
our, or to the, the we creators.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
It's not a like pitch. There's like a full process you have to go through. Um, and parts of it are, do you have any crypto or Web3 in it? And you get filtered to no bucket if you do. So um, it's again not a priority at the moment. We have obviously thought about it. We've done a lot of research into it, had a lot of conversations, but just not happening right now. Again, it's the same thing though with Epic. Like just because you're on Steam doesn't mean you're found, you're discovered, you're used. So it's just an additional avenue. But like I was telling the team, unless we're going to do an insane Steam campaign, I don't know that it does anything different than Epic because it gives us that same credibility. I don't think it's additional credibility, in
well,
my
maybe
opinion.
more, maybe more even for developers that is in Epic and not in Steam.
Mhm.
But that's from my point of view, that I am a designer and developer. So I wanted to ask you, if not that I think we were talking, Meta was pointing to this, uh, the Open Metaverse Browser initiative, and in knowing that the Decentraland in experience have shifted um, from browser to that. I agree that that was the correct path to do, to desktop, you know. I wonder, if you had to reach to them to explain your case, um, would it be an option also to bring more people into the Central or not? Or because, well, we were saying before that, well, Meta was explaining very well that, here the greatest seems to be and to contribute. I think that, I don't know how is, so I'm not going to talk about it. But major part of the original bigs, I mean, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, uh, Mozilla, uh, all of them, they're right now they are too much distracted by AI than to put time and resources into the metaverse. But anyway, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, I don't know if that was for me. Not sure I fully followed the whole thing completely. If there was a specific
Yeah,
question.
I'm going to summarize.
Yeah, thanks.
Before, yeah, before we were saying of strategies to collaborate with other people, like these guys from the open metaverse, or that is what I understood. This is something that was Meta is saying with the Metaverse Standards Forum, you know, and
Right. Okay. So the Metaverse Standards Forum, some of them we were talking to a few, but I can't remember if that one specifically. Honestly, a lot of them popped up. Some of them were pay to play. So if you want to be a part of it, there's a fee to be one of the contributing groups. Um, but at this moment, I can't remember the specifics on that one. But at this moment, I think we're just focusing on building what we know we need for this ecosystem and getting to like true product market fit. So that's where the priority is at the moment, is just like focus on what we are doing, what we can control, what we need right now. Honestly, metaverse right now is a quote unquote like bad word from a marketing term perspective. Um, so I'm trying to work on that language holistically. There are a lot of people that won't join things that say metaverse because they automatically think crypto and they automatically go into this space. However, the idea of 3D worlds, virtual play, all of that is still in the positive connotations. So there's just a lot of 3D chess going on, I guess, if that's
well,
some helpful information. But at this point, like we're at like a very serious inflection point. We need to like focus intensely on making our product be the best we can.
that kind of sounded like HOA to me. You're paying to have rules on you on your property. Like change it to this, change it to that. Now it needs to be coherent, or yeah, it needs to match the next house. Uh, but like I mean, I don't understand that concept, because like when you just changing your standards of like how you build your platform be enough of a contribution, like you're giving them you're validating them by being a part of them. So yeah, gross.
Yeah, and I don't remember if that one particularly did, so I don't want to say it did, but there were a few we were talking to about like leaders in the metaverse space, and to be one of them, it was pay to play kind of thing. So, generally speaking, I think right now there are not that many big leaders like left building. Unfortunately, so many have like shut their doors, and I think we're just trying to make sure we have a product people are excited by, there's real world use cases, and that people want to use it.
and did you try to contact, for example, the oldest metaverse that is social? That, by the way, is the synonym is virtual world. If you have to use it instead of metaverse, probably it's virtual world the best one you can get.
Yeah,
But
we've
what
used
I
virtual world a little bit. Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm coming from all. I'm all pioneer in metaverse, but I mean from the beginning of the metaverse.
Yeah.
Not I'm not talking of Web3. That for me is like, yeah, this is yeah, okay, but from the so hardcore pioneer here doing projects since early 28 is 00809. Okay. So in oh, did you try to put in contact, or for example, get interaction or whatever, contact, at least contact, and a little bit of um, pre-dancing with a Second Life?
I mean, we've had overlap with some of our communities. Um, it's a very different aesthetic, but a lot of similarities in terms of how people use it. That idea, Canessa, I agree with you on, like, this is my home. Um, but we have not ever done any collaborations. Right now, we have been focusing again less on partnerships and more on just building the product that needs to get built. As you've all have seen, there's been a lot of updates and shipping and documentation changes and all of that. So that's really where the priority is right now.
Well, I have to say that coming from season to season to do something in the Decentraland always amazed me because I can see the big jump in performance within the platform, and things that were not possible 6 months ago now are possible.
Thank you. I'm glad you can tell. I know the team's been working hard on all of that. So that's where we're gonna kind of continue. I know Esteban mentioned it in the all hands. We have kind of realigned our teams. We have a clearer, little bit of a clearer focus on our side, and we're just trying to make that experience as good as we can. I'm responsible for that onboarding funnel and that flow for first day discovery. And so I'm just spending every day, looking at that data, seeing where we can make improvements and improvements and improvements over things that seem small or you all may not notice because you already have the product. But I think at having this intentional focus of a clear area to own is a new thing for us to try, and I'm excited to see how far we can take it.
One last question related also to, I know that you right now are focused, Decentraland is focused into inside building, which is really good and very logic because especially if you want to partner with someone that is bigger than you, you better look good, you know. So, but I was talking Second Life, but the other before we were talking Roblox. Roblox customers are getting older, um, and they will want if they don't stay in Roblox because Roblox is more oriented to children. And if they don't change and they don't do a separate Roblox for adults, Roblox uh, for teens and children, they would the young adults and the adults will have to shift to other kind of platforms where also get their friends and community and have a similar vibe. And the central and right now, just for the looks, just for the gamability that they are used to, that's a good option.
I do have to jump. I have to run into mom mode. But yeah, I don't see us partnering with Roblox, but I do see um, I've been paying attention a lot to what's happening over there. I do think their audience starts around 8 or 9. They've publicly talked about that, about how many 9-year-olds come into their potential TAM, total addressable market, every year based on how many kids are born every year, and that's what they're thinking about. I've been thinking more about those people that started on Roblox and are aging out, but we have to have the right type of experiences they want, the right type of ecosystem, and the quality of the discovery and the content needs to match the expectations. A lot of stuff on Roblox is like very quick hit, but super repeatable and fun and exciting. And so I think we need more experiences that hit those needs that they will have as they age out. I personally don't don't want to be building for kids because there's a lot of legal requirements, moderation requirements. It is, from a marketing perspective, really, really difficult to market to kids. There's a lot of laws around that. Um, so I think more learning about what works well and thinking about a digital native audience, which is what I consider the Roblox audience. Like my kids are a little bit younger than Roblox age, but they're coming and they're coming quick. And I see the things they're doing on their computer and they can do things really fast. They have certain expectations of what they're seeing digitally. And I think we need to eventually be aware that that audience is here, the ones that grew up there first, and they're coming quickly, so that digital native audience, our TAM, is growing as those people grow up. So I do have to run to youth sports, but have a great chat, everyone. I'm
Good
glad
luck.
I got to pop in for a little bit.
Good luck, Kim. Bring the Capri Suns and orange slices and
Literally running to the store because I am snack mom today.
oh no, oh no.
Thank you.
Nightmare.
Thank you, Kim,
Take
for the
care,
answer.
Kim.
Thanks, Kim.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
You know what I think is interesting about what Kim said is like what the audience is going to be into after they, grow out of a steal a brain rot fish and grow a garden. And like I honestly don't think that the target audience is going to be like, "Oh, what's the next game?" at all. I think they're just going to grow into, "Oh, I can code my own game. Okay, I'm going to do this." Because I think that from what I'm seeing, that is the next step. That's the go-to, is not jumping into another amusing game. It's creating their own game. So I think maybe also looking at
Yeah,
yeah,
and created, if they can, create it within their community. As I said, there's nothing so much fun, so fun that while you are creating, you're having another friend of you with you doing at the same time other cool thing, and at the same time comes another one and is looking at it, and it's the shared experience of the moment that is really similar how you experience the things in real life. That's why it works.
yep. And I think we just need a little bit of everything to appeal to different people. Everybody's going to be looking at their own way to interact, and we're all going to have our own way of building. And so like for me, in my mind, I keep thinking as you guys are talking, like we need to build model 3D model build, because that is to me how I build. And so I'm like, my internal bias is like that's how people build, but then I'm like, no, that's not how everybody builds. Like that's how I build. So everybody is going to find it their own way. Some people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I learned Ableton, and now I can play music that I never could, and I want to share this, this Friday night at the DJ party. And other people are going to be like, I just vibe coded an ocean, cough cough lastrum. And so I think like each one of us, it's going to look different, but we just need to keep grinding and building. And if we do that, like, I don't know, I mean, something's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be enough to be like, this is just like the coolest, craziest thing ever, because that's maybe just not what we're ever going to have, but we're just going to have the coolest and craziest Decentraland. And I think that's the best we can ask for, is just be us, uniquely us. And Benavis?
Sorry, real quick. Breaking news. Sinful. We have contact with Sean, and he says let's do it.
Sweet, thank you. I just have to confirm his Discord. I think I have it in front of me, but I don't want to message anyone pretending to be him.
Do you want me to connect that through there?
Yeah, if you want,
And then
if
you
you
guys
can.
can take it from there, whatever you guys need to do, so you make sure you get the right guy? Yes, okay.
Sounds good. Thank you. This silence was brought to you by Old Guy Barbecue. Get your very own Old Guy Barbecue today. Head on over to www.oldguybarbecue.com and use discount code MEW for a 10% discount. Well, old guy, I think I just pushed you into having a website. You better go vibe code one out with and have barbecue sauce displayed on it for sale.
Don't tell him that. He's going to have like a fully functioning manufacturing facility within the week.
And I see he
Please
knows
do
has
the
joined us down
vegetarian
there.
version, Olga. Just remember vegetarians. Mwah, mwah,
Yes.
mew, mew.
And let's see, he knows is down there in the listeners. Hello, he knows. DJ CK, good to see you. Hello, whoop, Fort Funk. Hello, hello. Let's see who else. Who else? But I do see that we have Make that joined us here in the speaker panel, and then after we have AJ rejoining us. So Make, take it away.
GM friends. Interesting discussion as always. I think it's great that Kim at least comes and addresses us and keeps it real with us. It's super helpful instead of which is. Can you
I was hearing him until he asked, "Can you hear me?" Then he like faded away. Was that the same for everyone else?
Yeah, it happens the same to me.
Uh, okay, so it wasn't a me issue. Let's see. Let's try to get him back up here. Oh no, don't message him. But hello, Scad. I see you down there, and there's Fermion as well. Hello, Firm. Mew 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 to you. Empress Trash joined us in World, and we also have. Well, at least it's a new name to me. I see Hisoyam. Hello, Hisoyam. And let's see if we got to make back up here.
Sinful. New York. What happens?
It's in September. Looks like
So
I mean, yeah, looks like I mean, I was telling Drip yesterday, like normally when you're like saying you're gonna do something, like it's like okay, but you could like bail out anytime. So what I did this week is I bought the tickets. So now I have to go. Like I bought my plane ticket. So now I have to go. And
Okay, so what can we do to prepare you? Like, basically, can we have a sinful roast where everybody just knows the harder the questions we throw at you, the better we're gonna help you, and so we're like, bam, we hit you with everything. Public speaking, you're on the stage, bright lights.
right now, Vanessa, we're doing that right now.
I know, no,
Because
no, it needs to be bigger. Go big or go home. Like we need to like really put him on the hot seat.
Beyond the NFT, the roast of sinful.
Gosh. Because public
Uh,
beyond.
speaking, it's an art. I mean, there's like I could not public speak, so I took a class in college, and I just still think I still remember like my sweaty hands and everything, and
Oh,
like I think Sin, like you're gonna do great, but man, I have secondhand nervousness
especially,
for you.
please, can
especially
you?
if he follows my roast, my previous roast. Because I already roasted him a little bit, but I hope it was for the good, right?
Yep, yep. What up, Make? Welcome back.
can you hear me now? Are we good?
Yes.
Let's go. One Sinful is going to be just fine because he's got Make, and if anybody teases or blasts him or roast, I'll just start screaming at him and hit him with a skateboard. So he's got protection for NFT New York. There's that MetaBeast. The space we met on was Alt Space VR RIP. Uh, it was fantastic.
I said keep your ears closed.
Oh gosh, I really do miss that environment. But that's part of the truth. It's like, spatial. decided closed their doors, and Meta mostly closed their doors. And the movement of what this concept was, a lot of platforms have moved away. So as much as we pound the table about it not being perfect, or they need to do more with their small team that's still going, like, and I get frustrated as anybody. I was, last night I was frustrated. There were things not working. I apologize if some people had a hard time at a new spot, but it's still happening. And, you know, like AJ made an incredible land tool. I don't know if anybody else saw that this week. I know some people were in the group on how to see land and how to purchase it. It's like Lastrum's out there innovating every day. I mean, always impressive, right? So, in some ways, it's up to us to keep breaking out of the box, because at some point the foundation's small and they're going to do this much. There's a roadmap that goes this far, and if we want to keep this alive, it's up to us to band together and make this the point. I mean, honestly, for me, I love Decentraland, but I love the people I'm around that inspire me to do what I like to do. And so, I mean, every week I'm out there trying to invite people from every walk of life that I come from, whether they all think I'm nuts or don't like house music or just don't like metaverse. It doesn't matter. You're looking for one new friend who will come in and change something. Look, Empress Trash came and hung out, and she streams every day. She's out giving a gold message. He knows, comes in, restreams on his space, tells the story, brings the message forward. It's about bringing people around. I don't know if you heard that, but shout out Empress Trash. Um, it really takes an army and not just us sitting in a bunker figuring it out. And even from their perspective, while they're top down trying to figure out how to invite another 1,000 people, I don't know that 1,000 people are going to come in unless we're offering $1,000 to the first 1,000 people. It's a micro scale truth that we deal with, that we build out from. So, to say, well, they need to do this or that to fix something else. I think we all know we're on the clock. If anything, we should be realizing is all of these major players who spent billions of dollars, tech startup money, and everything else. I mean, look at the NFT and crypto market and crypto Twitter. The same energy doesn't exist. So for us to be stuck in that conversation kind of between the two, it's a muddy conversation. And I actually think they're doing the right thing going to chase down Web 2 people and more Web 2 ideas, because the Web 3 NFT thing is almost like a double negative right now. People are more upset about rugs and NFTs. By the time they get in to hang out at a digital platform, we've got three strikes against us. So I would just say, I think as much as that by no means is DCL perfect, I really think it's up to us to fix the things we can deal with and enjoy it while we can. Because if there's not a plan for it to exist, if they run out of money or whatever, then that's what we're doing right now. What skills and things are we building? What friendships are we making that keeps this story going no matter what? I think is the most important thing. I met Meta Beast in Alt Space BR. We went a bunch of places. It died. I still see Meta Beast, and I really hope no matter what happens in DCL, we all get to find each other and keep building with the tools we got. So, hard topic though. Like, I mean, what would it take for any of us as a group to say, okay, this group right now, let's go try this game or this thing? What would entice us all to get up, leave Decentraland, leave this Twitter group, and go try something together? You know?
Well, to be honest, what's the alternative? I mean, for someone that is having, I mean, metaverse or virtual spaces or virtual platforms, there's a bunch. The ones that are with the more, the bunch of reputation, still being a few. Especially if we are talking of that are also inside the at the and metaverses that can create their own social system and also a community. I mean, and also an economy and a healthy economy, or even less. And I'm talking of probably not NFT metaverses, but we're talking Second Life, we're talking Roblox, and right now, nothing else.
What?
Uh,
And just to throw them out there, because there are still some left, like Sodium Space. I know we were talking about that have some
but
interesting
that
things going
that is
on.
not well. That
And
I was talking of
can I just
real.
add one more that I was trying
Yeah,
to say was VR chat. I think
yeah.
I don't know where they're at now, but I think they were probably, if you're gonna say Roblox one ish, right? Second Life being longest presence. VR chat would probably, I don't know where they are again right now, but they were high on the list for a pretty long time, right?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about high-end list of no nor whatever. I'm talking about a creator economy, an economy that really shifts the things, like the Decentraland at the very beginning of the thing, that it was amazing, it seems. So I was not there, but it seems that it was really, really having a growing economy, that it was really, really good for creators and for the people in general. Roblox has that. Children can get rich from doing stuff in Roblox. They have that, and not only that, they also have. I don't know too much the case of Roblox, but mm, in in Second Life there was a bunch of companies that were doing in prime times. There were universities, companies, brands that were investing a lot of money into this metaverse. One of the things is because they were offering a technology that no way of doing it. Like for example, conferences. Skype was not allowing more than four people in the same video call, and Skype was a pioneer in that. So imagine, uh, while, for example, in Second Life, if you were having, you could have meetings in WoW with tools that helps you to with PowerPoint and blah blah blah, video, blah blah blah, and at the same time is video is a conference that you can have 100 people there. So um, that's the importance also as well of the Decentraland. But apart from Decentraland in Web3, which other spatial? What are the numbers of a spatial? How much they are earning? How much social they have? Um, Future bears, you said that they want to shit. So Meta said that they want to shit. So mm, what I'm trying to say is that uh, the metaverse per se, it has to have certain things. Uh, Agnostic platform, I mean. And one of those things are a healthy economy that is generating money all the time, and the cycle is not only because you have creators and you spend, but also that you can get works inside the um, the metaverse. For example, you can get a work by doing or giving classes, or translating stuff, or doing an art gallery. blah 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 blah. So I mean, real jobs, um, and that right now very few metaverse platforms got them, and one of them is Decentraland. Just maybe we have to put a little bit more of the things that we need in order to achieve that. I mean, we have the creators, yes, creator economy. You do something, you have a store, and you earn money, but that's not the all of economy. And we have a different range of workers and jobs, right? Make.
So you're right. The speculative economy that got it all started did drive a lot of people. But at the end of the day, to have an economy, we need users. Yes, you need a market, but at the end of the day, the next 50 people who could come change the game right now are just as important. For the last 6 months during when we were all really pushing, there was like a good energy building. Like 80 people would be coming through. Now, if we get to 30, we're really lucky. And I know it's the summer and everything else, but there's also a truth to it. It's like, where's like, we're
Yeah.
not just losing or not gaining. We're also, I feel
Yeah.
like we're losing the core people who make this place so great right now. And it might be summer. Maybe people are tired or just fed up with the game or the progress. But it's even welcoming back the people we love the most right now again. Like we're
Yeah.
almost to the point where 6 to 7 changed over, at least energy wise right now, in my opinion.
And
So
you believe make that maybe, just maybe, okay? Imagine this case. Because creator is a job that it requires skills and blah blah blah. Not all people has it, especially not the users, the gr- the the is and it would not good, neither good to be good, that all use that there were more creators than actually users. So imagine that the case is that there's all we as we like international and interchange and cultural interchange and blah blah blah. Maybe we decide that we want to learn Chinese. Okay, we need a teacher for that, right? Maybe we also want to learn Spanish, so we need also a teacher for that. Huh? But we are not only needing the teacher; we also need the secretary, the director of the school. You get what I'm trying to go with? You believe that if Decentraland could offer those type of jobs, would increase the regular user, and that the user will come and spend the money that they earn, they are going also spend it inside game later on, creating an economy, giving back to the economy, and also enjoying places and etc. I mean, also social.
so I don't know that I can answer that. I mean, I feel the concept, but I think it's breaking away from what the hope was of DCL. I felt like the original concept is like people coming to build their dreams, sell their merch, or do their thing, and have a vibrant community. The one person, again, I think who's building down there is Lastrom, and the things he's done of late. Opening up some of the chats and the availability. I think some of the truth is a way to include more people right now. I think super important. I know that I talk a lot about this with Sin and DJ Vape like at length. It's like You know, and when Lastrom had that the open chat that he worked on, I think it inspired a lot in my mind that says, you know, maybe it's more connections to connect people outside of the experience to share like what's going on, because ultimately during an event or anything we do, the chat is pretty much what leads the story around us. So like I would love just in my head, you know, speaking out loud, like an API connection to the chat for Restream, but and have it less like, you know, if he knows was over there on Twitch or on I apologize, I forget the platform where I watched you the most, he knows, but if that chat could be more integrated to say, hey, I'm over here on Twitch, but I'm vibing out. And he knows is on his platform. And then somebody's in Decentraland. And it doesn't just say restream bot from Twitch something. It more lets people be inclusive on multiple platforms. So you could be where you want and you bring the people to you. So that's something I think it would be a great way because ultimately on all of these streaming platforms, the chat and that energy is what keeps them fueled and keeps them all going. I think Lastrom was going down the road of opening that truth up, and I think it's a possibility. So that would be A. Um, and I think that's really just the truth. I think our voices have been largely stipend a bit on X between the algorithms changing, moving away from, you know, crypto, moving away from metaverse. I feel it all the time just in what you see come back from numbers and energy, right? It's like, how do we let more people be included regardless of them coming in for now? The other thing is, and this happens a lot, like half the people who come into stream, whether they're DJs or whatever, are doing their thing without showing the platform itself. And I truly believe anybody who is taking the time to stream in world, whether your music or anything, should really be showing the contents of what's happening to leave that truth out there. And I think there are definitely some ways and tools that could be built to help that be a lot easier. Right now, for me, it's quite a process to get Decentraland running behind me and then putting the DJ stuff out and having another character in so I could actually type. It's a huge draw and suck of energy, bandwidth, and all these things. It would be incredibly useful if either somebody could share their feed to that in a clean manner, or there was a camera API that you could move around for a streamer. But at the end of the day, we need not just eyeballs, we need people hanging and energy being built right now, right? And if we're not going to be these broad sources of external reach, then we have to find ways to go to the people and let them be in their place and show them how the opportunities can come. And again, I think Lastrom is really on the right page. I don't go and build. I know Canessa, just like you were saying, you know, dude, for me, spending all week getting 100 songs ready, doing the things I need to do to throw a party, that to me is the process. And then the treat is being back with Sin and them and throwing a party. If you're gonna DJ one time or you're gonna make a playlist, great. But if you're gonna do something every week that's for 3 hours, you're not gonna play the same music every week. It takes actually an extremely long time, right? To produce something that is fresh on a weekly basis. So, how are the ways once we have done that thing to expand out to other people? And I really think a coordinated chat that is actually unified to other platforms, whether that's through Restream or another source, would be an incredibly useful way to let streamers and people really have more opportunity to be amongst us.
But eh, I agree fully, I have to say. And I was earlier, previous to this chat, I was going through Lostrat to read that. So yeah, I agree. That is definitely one of the most important things. If you cannot show, and if you cannot interact like with facility, especially for performance, the what is what the around what is etc is a pity. It's really a pity. But I also think that we are missing a part of the conversation that is important. In that, today we have, as adults, we have a lot of types of entertainment, and all those entertainment are competing with each other. Uh, the Centraland is one of them. So what can offer the Centraland to a new user that is not interested in building, for example, or into selling things, or into create, or into perform music? But maybe, yeah, they are okay for a party, but they also want other type of, yeah, maybe they want to play once, but uh, that's just casual thing. So what we can offer them in order to make them stay in, and that's something that any economy has, is the working system. You just create works. Not all works has to be nor performing arts, nor creators, nor anything. But if you achieve to bring those people to work in the system, even with the work being a work like hobby type of working, like more is that is like a volunteer working, even in those terms, what you're generating is a social class that people is getting around that. And if, for example, you a person comes inside because they are going to apply for a job that is being the secretary on the newest and fanciest Sinful and Canessa Art Week version, probably that person also has also will be engaged in social engagement with the community. And when that happens, also probably that person is going to want to be as the friends as they are meeting in world, like they are going to want to be as fancy as our job, and listen to your music, make music, and all these things, they will be more open to that. But because you have created the hub, the hook, that Garcio, I don't know how to say Garcio, but fishing thing, for the people just to like fishes, just click and you, yeah, yeah, it's yours, it's fish it, it's inside. And once inside, alleviates that. I think there's nothing as powerful as to create a work economy. If you and you have already economy, there's a lot of research from universities, from Stanford, Texas, etc., Spanish ones, American, but that they have been onto this, and they have explained why this happens and how it happens. So if we have already that, why we are not putting that to just work in, to work in the Central?
Real quick, sorry, Sinful, check the CBD general Discord chat.
Was somebody getting naughty or?
Maybe, maybe not. Sean's in there.
He knows. How are you? He knows. It's been a while.
Canessa, good to see you. Sinful, what up, everybody? Meta Beast, Argent, dude, Make, dude, love you, brother. Good to see everybody. I love this conversation, and I think Kim really hit it on the head with two major points. There is that you're gonna need Web 2 users, and what's your target market? And I think Canessa had a great point there as well, that when you look at what other places are doing, such as Roblox, the future really seems to be not just who can make the coolest avatar or wearables, but who can wrap it up all together in one full experience, making their own games, doing things like that. I think there is some room for that over in Decentraland. But I also just think, like, as a streamer, for me, one of the most important things is what's the experience. If I'm going to stream over there, I really, there's got to be action, there's got to be experience, there's got to be a lot of stuff to do. And I think all of that will come in time for Decentraland. But I also think the money aspect of it is pretty far away, that the focus right now shouldn't be, how do we create jobs in Decentraland? The experience is the more important thing right now. And that's what the kids over in Roblox are doing, is they're building things for fun, and then these games are getting bought up by companies. But they're not going into it built in first thinking, how are we going to make money? They're going into it thinking, how are we going to make this a fun experience? What's going to bring people back?
But the
So just a couple
difference,
of points
so,
there I just wanted to
sorry,
throw out.
sorry to interrupt, but the difference, just this, and I shut up, I promise. The difference is the target. Growing adult people does not have the same time than children to experiment with all those things. And we need to understand also that. I mean, I love to play, to game, blah, blah, etc., etc. And there's for creators and for creative people a huge um, experience of just doing it for the fun thing. Apart, and if you monetize it, better. But I mean, fun is important. But the thing is that anyway, adults are not the same, nor cannot be asked to be nor act the same, because they have other type of time I schedule. I don't know how to explain that better, but I hope you understand.
No, yeah, and I think that the target audience is a huge part of it. Who are you trying to bring in? Who do you think will be, the future users of Decentraland? And I think Roblox, they have their thing nailed down. That's the kids market. I don't see kids ever leaving Roblox. I think that they're too already established and what they can build, and I mean, I have a cousin who sold a game on Roblox for 10 grand. It's just a little football game. So I don't know how Decentraland competes with that. But as Kim said, people leaving that, becoming adults, bringing them over into Decentraland, I think there is some room for that. And I think that the first wave of those people most likely won't be doing it for money. There needs to be some kind of, built in building platform for Decentraland for new users to come in and create what they want and make it personal, and make it target their own audience as well, thus growing it.
Well, and I think like he knows what you said about the game, being sold. I think we have to like listen to what Ruston said when he came back from, I forget what convention it was, but he basically listened to a room full of people talk about how Roblox games get bought and sold, how they become successful, that there's like it's basically Hollywood ad agent or like talent agencies out there. This talent agency is looking at games. If your game is successful, they'll buy it within the first like 12 hours. And so we're not, I feel like we are fooling ourselves and we're just prolonging our own suffering if we think that this is an even playing field and that we can approach it with the same way that like if my game is cool enough, it will succeed. No, if you have the right agent, your game will succeed. If you pay for advertising, pay to win, like it really it's going to come down to all of those mechanics. And so I think that like the the knowing how the game works, you got to know the game works or you're just going to keep like swimming uphill or swimming upstream and not get there. And I do see kids leaving Roblox. Like I personally just like Roblox is not nearly as cool in my house as it was 6 months ago, a year ago. Like not no, that's the attention is waning. Like it's so I'm seeing it firsthand that what happens when a kid ages out of Roblox. I don't know where we're going next, honestly. Like I probably about like 6 months ago, my son was looking at me like coding games or just like playing with AI, and he was like, "Mom, how do I make a game?" I was like, "I don't know how to make a game in Roblox." And in my heart was like like dying a little bit. I was like, I'm sorry, honey, I just can't figure it out for you. I was like, try Chat GPT. I come back a half an hour later, he has a game where people can click a button and pay him in Robux. I'm like, oh, um maybe I should have been more specific. Like there's no game mechanics. It's just donate money. And it luckily it didn't quite work. But I'm like, that's what it is. That's what the future is. It's just it's not gonna be what we think. It's gonna buckle up. It's gonna be wild. But as a parent of a Roblox kid, I won't have to worry about that at all. Ah,
I'll just jump in and say my kids are aging out of it. You know, my son's 15, my daughter's 12, and they're playing it less and less. They're not necessarily going to another platform for the experience, you know? I mean, they're going into social media and other things they don't have access to. So that's just true. But Roblox at the end of the day is like an $8 billion company, that have servers and guidance, and they still get in trouble worldwide all the time. You could go buy their money in Walmart and Target. Like it's such a different animal to try. Like it's a great benchmark conversation, but it's not the same planet. Like we're ultimately around an indie studio game. We can we can dream as big as we want, but there's got to be reality also to base it on. Like sure, and like I said, my kids, if they're not playing Roblox, maybe my son will play Minecraft or Fortnite. They're not necessarily going for that next experience. And I still think also it's still not as social, as much a social experience as micro gaming experience there. Like still right now, currently we're a social platform, like social communication events and building, but we're not gaming, which Canessa says all the time. And shout out West, one of my favorites in Web3. I hope I bump into you soon, buddy.
I'll jump.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Um, yeah, got a lot of thoughts. The conversation has meandered a bit since I was last up here when I was out walking Skylar. It's fascinating to hear all of the opinions. Um, real quick on the Roblox thing, it's like um, TV viewership is down not because somebody has a better TV program, but because of YouTube. Uh, just because there's all these kids that are going to age out of Roblox doesn't mean they're coming here. Um, they could. I mean, I pinned a couple of two different things. One is the newest. I think it's Opus. Um, a one-shot game. Like somebody wrote a prompt, and in one shot, it created a first-person shooter game. Just like that. You can find other posts out there on X and elsewhere where they'll compare the Opus one-shot game to the other uh, AI agents, LLMs, um, in what they created. And the the first thing I posted was the world engine, right? And my question is, are game engines obsolete, right? So we're talking about um, the DAO and wearable publishing, and um, I mean, Ash Connell just 5 hours ago uh, created a way for you to just say something, type in something, and you can have a pet with you in his virtual world, right? So if you want to have pets in a virtual space, just talk to Ash, right? Just go over to Hyperfy. It's like there's so much coming so fast. It's like you think about wearables and the comparison I did for the skin of the Warplet, 40 hours versus 40 minutes. Think about instantaneous, right? Like, I'd like to have a, a purple cowboy hat, with yellow tassels hanging down and Christmas tree baubles at the end of it. And you're going to get that, and it's going to have the correct physics. It's going to have the correct um, appearance against different lighting scenarios. If somebody changes the skybox from midnight to afternoon or whatever, it's like that's all coming, right? Check out the links that I put up at top. So the game is GoldenEye, and they fed in like 10,000 hours of video gameplay. But just like making the predictive model for language or for still images or for video, they're doing that now with real time play, and not just one person multiplayer. The GoldenEye game is a 4-person multiplayer game. There is no game engine there. There are no triangles. There are no textures. There is no weighting that you have to do for your wearable. You just need to tell the computer what you want to see. So all of that, saying it's like it's gonna change. The kids that I teach in my class, they're gonna have jobs that don't even exist right now. So it's like try to try to reverse engineer this and think back to 10 years ago and what people were trying to predict. And I guarantee you we weren't going to have, nobody was thinking we were going to have stories about AI psychosis, right? Where people totally get so far into navel gazing and talking to an AI agent with, it's being a sycophant and confirmation bias and whatever, and they start believing, that their shit don't stink, and that they can like spin straw into gold because the AI agent explained it to them, and they really trust that it can happen. So it's like nobody thought that those stories were going to be real in existence. Um, I think the one thing uh, that Roblox has or that Fortnite has, where the value is, right? It's in the audience. And I've said this before, like we're all one of one NFTs, and our value add, our unique item that makes us non-fungible. That's the time that we can spend with each other. So that's what those agents that come in that Canessa was saying, reiterating what Rustan was talking about. It's like, yeah, the agents are coming in, they're buying up the games. Why? Well, it's arbitrage, right? I mean, they've got money. There's other people that have money. They want to make more money. So they invested in a company where they'll go out, they'll find the hot new thing, they'll pump it up, they'll get lots of viewers, So that's those are the eyeballs, right? You are the product. Um, yeah. So what we have here is valuable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So whatever it is, what we've got, the tool set that we've got, it may not be the best or the greatest, but we can still be kind to each other. We can still be, compassionate. We can still help each other. Um, and let's have some fun along the way. And yeah, when somebody's got a new wearable, let's check it out, or an emote, or something on land. Let's keep going forward. What Make was saying, let's invite new friends. Like, who knows how long it's going to last, guys? I don't know. Let's have fun while we are here, because man, there's some serious disruption that is on its way. It's already here. And I mean, I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm also kind of terrified of it. Um, the world engine, that thing, just like, the reason why they're doing this, it's not so they can have lots of people play world engine games. It's so AI can go through simulated realities and get better at reality. It's so, driverless cars can drive around and, overclock it and spend 1,000,000 hours driving in a simulated reality, so that when it finally gets out there on the real road, um, yeah, it doesn't kill anybody. I mean, that's an optimistic view, but anyway, I digress.
That's brilliant, Jobs. That's actually brilliant. You know, me personally, I'm excited. I like, at first I was kind of scared, but then I got excited. Why? Because we're actually positioned perfectly for it. Whether it's like AI getting crazier or like, even the open world being open. I'm telling you, dude, like at the end of the day, people, like even those AIs will have to come to Decentraland. And what we have built here, that'll shine and it'll just get better. But for like the Claude, the Fable, bro, it is so crazy. It is actually crazy. I still think majority of the people are not using it as much for Decentraland as much as we really need to, dude. It's so crazy. Like, you're saying one shot. It's legitimately one shot. It'll make anything, VRMs, like pets, everything. It's so crazy. But I think that's our strength also, because majority of the people, like, if you give them like a bunch of power, they don't know what to do with it. They generally don't know what to do with it. But we here, we've been doing it like by a hand for so long that we actually do know what to do with it. We do know how to actually get that one shot prompt, or even if it takes us like a couple prompts, it doesn't even matter, because the work is insane. It's an insane amount of work, and even though it can be done, it won't be done unless somebody actually actively prompts it, brings it to Decentraland, puts it in the open source, and everybody else could use it. And I swear, this is how we actually get to like an exponential growth from here. And we'll never die, in my opinion. We will never die. Decentraland will live forever, bro. It will forever live, in my opinion. I might be crazy.
Thank you, Greens, for and great to hear from you.
Shout out
Uh,
you. Shout out you guys, bro. You guys are still holding it down.
always, always. I mean, when you're having fun, is it even work? Like, I
Hell yeah.
mean,
Let's go.
uh, but uh, but yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of today's conversation has been awesome, and I mean, I see that Sean has joined us, and we have mentioned the uh, what was it? MetaBeast Metaverse Security Council. Was that it?
Metaverse Standards Forum.
Metaverse Standards Forum, and I know that Sean is in the forefront of all that. And recently, RP1 had its launch of Artemis. Sean, how are you? It's great to have you back on the space here.
What's up, Sinful? How's it going, everyone? Hey, Vanessa, long time.
Yo yo.
and then Meta Beast and AJ and all these guys. It's great. You know what's funny? I'm listening to you guys talk, and AJ, you're spot on a lot of things you're talking about. And I think we're first. It always comes down to community first. You say to Decentraland, the community building. At the end of the day, I'm a gamer. I grew up as a gamer, and the ability to play with others and to connect is really the power of the community. Doesn't matter if it's Roblox or Decentraland or anywhere else. And we are going through a massive transition. The biggest challenges we have is the fragmentation, which I think you guys talk about all the time. The idea that if I want to create an NFT or I want to create a character, the big vision is that I can take that character anywhere, whether into the real world or into virtual spaces and gaming and all that stuff so that I can connect with people. And that's really, if you think about it, outside of gaming, that's what the World Wide Web has done. It's connected the entire world, but to pages. And it created access, it created a fictionless experience, and it created interoperability where you knew if you built a website, anyone in the world can connect to it. And you didn't have competing internets, you didn't have competing worldwide webs. Everyone can participate and connect with each other. And it made it really easy for people to build. It made it easy for people to share. And the challenge that we have, and we're talking about the challenges, and you guys talk about them every time I come here, and I completely agree with them, is that if you build in Roblox, doesn't work in Decentraland, doesn't work in Fortnite, doesn't work across these things, and then you're like, well, ours is better or this is better. But at the end of the day, you just want to connect with people, and everyone's going to different experiences. And it becomes that if we come together, we can succeed together. But if we stay fragmented, it becomes just what it is, separate communities instead of connecting the world. And what's coming out, I am a part of the Metaverse Stand Forum. I'm actually a board member there. And there is a very, very big thing coming along, which is going to unify the web around gaming and around the future of AR glasses, around creating 3D websites. And there is something called WebXR that is a set of standards that have attached to the World Wide Web, and it enables 3D spaces, but it's very limited, and it doesn't allow for the grand picture of this interoperability and easy access to all content from a 3D perspective. And that includes, eventually we're all going to walk around with AR glasses, and someone at home can join me in the real world and see what I see. And we can instantly play a game of chess, or I could be in my home and I look over at my lights and I can dim them, and I can just walk around into an airport and AI says, "Hey, Sean, how do I get to your, you want me to show you how to get to your gate and where you drop your bags off?" I say, "Sure, that'd be awesome." And I follow somebody and they take me there. Or I walk into a Walmart and they help me find the couple things that I want. Or eventually it's going to control robotics. But the entire world is going so fast, but nothing is bringing it together. And what we've built under the Metaverse Standards Forum, so it's completely built in the open, not owned by any company, is the actual heart of a web browser engine. And so if you think about what the web browser, you have things called Blink and WebKit, which are the heart of what makes websites work and interoperable across the entire web. What it doesn't have is the ability to bring all of these pieces together and natively render these experiences. And so that's where the interoperability problem is. So if you build in Unity or you build in Unreal or you build in web engines and whatnot, they're all not compatible for a reason. And if you look at the web browser, that's not a problem because the web browser renders web pages, and so it makes it interoperable. And so we actually launched and built Sneeze, which is a play on Blink. And again, Blink is the open engine that's inside of Chrome, and WebKit is inside of Safari. And these engines make it interoperable that when you build a web page or website, that it can be rendered in any browser. And we built Sneeze that could be embedded into current web browsers or standalone metaverse browsers, as Sinful mentioned, that we built, the RP1 side of what I do. We built the first native metaverse browser using the open standard Sneeze. But anyone can build a browser, and any of the current web browsers can embed Sneeze so that we actually create an interoperable, the future of basically websites. So imagine you could build your own 3D scene, run it on your own servers, control the entire experience, and people will be able to move from one experience to another, whether it's Walmart, whether it's your individual virtual space, does not matter. But what's even crazier is that you're going to be able to embed services on that web page, on that 3D website. You're going to be able to actually take any AI, any service imaginable built by anyone in the world and then put it right on your own virtual space, and people will instantly be able to connect to it. And the connector is the browser. The browser makes it seamless to create one avatar, many personas, maybe multiple avatars, and be able to move around and traverse, whether it's for work or play or community or social. It doesn't matter. It connects the entire world. And that was the grand vision, the idea of a truly open metaverse. We are just now in the AOL days where we have all these separate wall garden platforms that are trying to really pioneer these experiences. And it's no different when the internet started. You had all these same wall garden platforms like the AOLs and CompuServes that tried to really control your experience. But when someone invented a web browser, it brought everyone together and there was zero friction. I didn't have to have 20 different accounts. I didn't have to create an NFT here that doesn't work over here. I didn't have to create a shirt or my avatar or a pet or all these things. It just works across the entire web. And that's what Sneeze, the open engine, is going to do for the entire internet. And so this is being done in the Metaverse Standards Forum. And we did release Artemis, and this is all in early alpha. This is all happening in the open. Major companies are getting involved because this will benefit the future of AI. It'll benefit robotics, autonomous vehicles, smart cities. You're literally going to be a massive co-presence where you can open up your desktop or throw a VR headset on and join someone right in the real world. And they will see you in their air glasses. It's going to be pretty magical.
Soon, I'm hello. I have a background in using and publishing for web, a metaverse world or metaverse space with another metaverse. It call it Monaverse, and we were using Unity and then publish in
Mhm.
WebGL, and the problems for performing are horrible.
Correct.
Very beautiful, but because it was Unity made, but we were able only to work with the standard. I don't know if you're familiar with the render, how Unity renders, but there's three types, and the standard one is the cheapest. And because we were publishing in WebGL format, how it changed what you're saying.
So the renderer, I mean, I don't know how technical you want me to get. It's up to you guys at your space. But the challenge that you have in the web, and obviously they're trying to add continuously bolt on new features like web GPU, and really those things are to be able to get access to your local renderer on your device. The challenge that you have is that you have if you're using WebXR, let's say, you have lots of memory challenges, caching issues that limits the number of triangles or things that you can send into a scene. Unity was really based on a pre-compiled app where you actually can build a whole scene, you wrap it up, and someone has to now download and install, and then they can get into the app and then actually have that experience. They do have web app versions, but they're really going in like 20 different directions. And what Sneeze does, it uses something called Inari, which is a Chronos standard. So it's using a lot of major standards that are created by the biggest companies in the world. And Inari is an API for renderer. And so the very first renderer that Sneeze is using is Filament, which is an open renderer, and it allows you to render. And the importance of this is when Chrome adopts Sneeze, they can pick whatever render they want. They'll just attach that to Inari. Inari is just like an API for renderers. And so it cuts out the entire monolithic gaming engine. So gaming engines typically have a lot of code and a lot of bloatware, where the browser just needs to be able to render your scene, and then you can have layers of software that exist on top of that. And so it's going to take the rendering to a whole nother level. And you also need to be able to tile size your entire scene. So right now, you guys are all limited to snow globes, and you have to move from one snow globe to another snow globe. With these technologies, you can build the largest maps you can want. And the job of the browser is to stream where you're standing. And as you move around, it pulls in that data and gives you just the data you need, just the people that are near you, and the services that are running in that location. And as you teleport or move or walk or fly, you're connecting and pulling in data as you move around the entire open metaverse. And that's no different as you walk around the real world. The biggest challenge with WebXR is a couple of things. One is there's no VPS built into it. So it doesn't know where you're at in the real world. So eventually we're all going to have 3D websites that represent our actual physical space. Walmarts, hotels, airports, hospitals, your house, everything imaginable is going to be fully digitized, and there's going to be full physical AI. And so each of these owners of property in the real world have to be able to create their 3D digital twin, if you will. And that needs to be, as you walk around, the job of the browser is to seamlessly connect you to all the different spatial fabrics, which is a term for the future of 3D websites, and recognize the services and the people that are in those spaces and connect you to instantly. Think about it. When we all go to a chat room, we don't have to worry about how do I get, talk to somebody else that's coming from another computer. The browser makes that all possible. And the same needs to be true for 3D spaces, gamified arenas, everything imaginable, so that we can have that big vision. And so you're speaking about a lot of different limitations, and there's a handful of things, but the web itself was never designed to handle the full power of physical AI and 3D spaces at scale. It was designed for the DOM and HTML, which is for flat web pages. And people have been really smart to add features, but they're only going to get so much out of the web. And the Sneeze engine creates what's called the SOM instead of the DOM, which is this massive scene that can now connect multiple 3D websites and unlimited services all in the same view. And that's what allows for full spatial browsing. And so the experience is going to be second to none. Imagine you're in your house right now, and with permission, I can go join you there. And you can grab a chessboard built by anyone in the world and just put it right on the table. And the two of us can start playing. And there's no friction. None of us have to install anything. We can have our own avatars, and we instantly can interact and have that experience completely seamlessly.
Two
The web did,
questions.
yeah, go for it.
This- yeah, two questions more about how to. So I understand then that the Asari, what Asari, I said, okay. Uh,
Anari, yeah.
Anari,
No,
the
it's okay. I
Anari.
don't want you to be sorry.
No,
It's
sorry.
Anari.
No, English is not my native
No,
language.
no, no, you're
I'm
fine.
Spanish,
No, you're
so
fine. No, you're good.
okay. So, and with the hot, I also forget the correct pronunciation of the things and the names. So Anari, um, the Anari system also is compatible. For example, one of the major issues with publishing in WebGL was to have the space. Well, you were having the space in your browser, accessible, multiplayer, whatever, blah blah blah, but not in the phone and not in some net portátiles. Uh,
Yes. So I can answer your question. So if you and you can all, by the way, this is all being built in the open. Again, not controlled by any company. In fact, all of you can join the Metaverse Standards Forum and give input. This is all coming out as a public vehicle. So again, no, there's no corporate intentions. This is literally standard organizations coming together to build the next layer for the entire internet, to evolve the World Wide Web to the open metaverse. And again, there's lots of major programmers, enterprises, everyone coming together to make this possible, because the challenges you guys talk about is across all locations, across all platforms. And at some point, we all have to unify to come together to really have these experiences at scale. You want to be able to, especially as an artist, if you can create, think about it right now, if you can create a painting, and that painting can only be sold to 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people. It's very different than when you create a painting where the world can go after that painting and want to value that painting. And the same thing goes for collectibles and wearables and everything imaginable. And so the bigger, the more interoperable that we come together, the better the experience is.
I cannot hear you any more.
Okay.
I
Okay. Yeah,
lost
he
him
did cut
too.
off. Dang, he was cooking.
He's
Yeah.
creating suspense
¿Verdad?
that's
You
beyond the
can,
NFT episode.
yes, because I
Excellent
have
point.
another question that is related. How do the how do you have, you're a creator, you have a
Well,
space, blah blah blah. Then
I
what
I
does
I
right?
I will also add that it is almost 3 p.m. here. 3 hours on our space, and my blood sugar and Canessa's blood sugar is probably very low.
Again, the
So
link is down below to the standards forum. I'll put the RP1 Artemis stuff down there too, I
mhm.
suppose.
Yep. But if Sean wants to come back up, he's and finish his thought, he's definitely welcome to. And I also would like to hear from Empress Trash because she did join us up here, and then we can close out.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello. All right. Let's see. Yes, I we can hear you. Let's see.
Okay, sweet.
Can you
Let's see.
guys hear me? I have no idea what happened. Is that better?
Yep, you're
Yes,
back.
loud and
Welcome
clear.
back.
I got rugged, man. That was an Elon rug. He knows that we're working with a lot of his companies, so that's pretty funny. But where did I leave off? I'm happy to look. I don't want to take up your space. You guys invited me up. It was so kind. I just want to share kind of what's coming down. It's funny. When I first came in, I was just listening to you guys. Like, you guys are all saying the right stuff. Like, you guys are all begging for the community and for these things eventually to come together so we can all succeed. And I think that's really what the web browser did for the entire World Wide Web. It unified the entire world where everyone can compete equally, participate, and really not have things taken away from us, right? You can build your own website. And if you look at the platforms like AltSpace and Ready Player Me, the avatars, if you look around, you are we're all getting screwed in these communities because these companies, they can't stay alive because it's too expensive. Their job is to make as much money off of you. But guess what doesn't make a lot of money off you are standards. The standards that unified the World Wide Web created the open space where you can then go build and unify and create technologies that are going to work across everything. If right now you wanted to go build something, a tool or an NFT and let's say Horizons, you can't. Meta is going to control that. Roblox is going to control it. But on the web, they can't control that. But the problem is the web doesn't compete with some of those cool platforms because they have better technologies. And again, the web itself wasn't, if the web was designed to do it, we wouldn't have wall garden platforms. Let's put it that way. I'm just telling you right now, if people cannot build and be, 90% of the revenue, Roblox keeps, I think the last number is that if you make money for Roblox, you get less than about 10% of what they make. And if you look around the entire app world, they take 30% of what you make. They pick and choose the ones you're allowed to do. You can't bring certain content. You can't do certain things in Roblox. Whether, I know a lot of Fortune 500 companies that want to do things that are not allowed to do it in Roblox because of the rules. But free speech and the open web is where it is. It just was never as good as these platforms. And that's what Sneeze does. It brings a native renderer into the web, it brings VPS, and it allows for multi-origin and services to coexist in the scene. It's going to empower everyone to build. And everyone in this room right here can build open tools for this ecosystem, just like you could build WordPress or Canva or Squarespace and Wix and all these companies that exist in helping you build, manage, host websites. That entire thing is going to happen around spatial fabrics. And again, you can learn about this. It's at the Metaverse Standards Forum, completely being built in the open. It enables everyone to come build together. omb.wiki is where all the open documents about spatial fabrics, what a 3D website is, how they're going to be constructed. And it's really simple. A spatial fabric is just a map with assets, and you can anchor services, and it's going to standardize with GLBs, GLTF, USD, all the file formats you guys probably love are all coming together. And this is literally going to bring it all of us hopefully together in one massive community where we can win together. And so if happy to answer any questions, feel free. RP1 itself, just so you know, is building Artemis, the first native metaverse browser. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it'll be around because most of the time the devices have the control on the browsers. And we're just showcasing Sneeze. But the one thing that we bring to the world is that we made it simple for you to scale your spatial fabric with unlimited number of people with spatial audio and sixed off, close to the cost of running a website. And if you're asking why that's important, the reason why you're all stuck in platforms is because they pick all the servers. They have to build out the entire mass background to handle the people coming to your space, which means then they get the control. And we are just going to be like a service provider that you can add to your spatial fabric that gives you the scale. And so we benefit by helping the community, but and also creating the standards. And that's where RP1 will be positioned as far as helping the world to be able to. And by the way, you're not locked into anything with RP1. Anyone can build those services. And so if they can build them cheaper and better than we can do, great. Then the community wins in open competition. But you're about to see an entire evolution of the entire World Wide Web over the next 3 to 6 months as the browser and Sneeze gets completed, and you're going to start seeing major announcements from companies, including the government, that are all getting involved. So it's pretty crazy.
Thank you, Sean. I don't know if you heard me whenever you had dropped off, but it is we're at 3 hours, so we're gonna start winding down here. But we really appreciate you coming in and sharing with us. And I do want to hand the mic over to Empress Trash. I saw you come up, and so the stage is yours.
Yeah. Hi, thank you, Sin. I actually haven't spoken in this space before. I don't speak in spaces often anymore. I get really pissed off at all the degens. But I wanted to come up because I loved what Sean was talking about and also because what y'all were talking about. But I wanted to mostly say hi to Sean, but then also bring up something to tie it all back to Decentraland because I was talking to Sebga last week at some point, and he said something to me that really made me start thinking differently about how I'm building and even thinking about Decentraland. And that is that think of it like, what if we thought about it as a browser versus a game? Or what if we thought about it as an operating system instead of a game? And I think with everything that Sean just was saying, like I'm super into all of that. And like I actually like a few years ago, I remember sitting around a fire making a bunch of boys chop wood for me. And then I was like telling them like, man, I wish like I could just like hop into VR and then like a friend who's at a party in Paris, I could like see what they're doing in AR while I'm making you chop wood for me. But so I'm gonna check out what you're doing 100%. And because this is like it's already been in my brain thinking about, and I just needed to find the people to connect with on that. But more so of like, like with Decentraland and all of that, or any project, especially building in Web3, any metaverse project, it's like getting beyond thinking of it as a game, I think is an important thing as a community. Because the game is one facet of what this technology is capable of doing. And like how Sean was explaining how like a browser unifies everything. One point of Decentraland where it fell apart for the community that I consistently hear before I came is when everything migrated from SDK 6 to SDK 7. And what happened in that migration? It lost cross compatibility. It lost that unification aspect. It lost like something like a decentralized thing should be about unifying people, not fracturing and siloing experiences more. And so I think like listening to what Sean is saying and learning more about what they're doing and applying some of the more like how can we have more interoperability within Decentraland with even other communities, or just first within Decentraland having everything be operable within it first of all. Second of all, then how can you go make it interoperable? Because it's like if Sean and what they're working on is focusing on interoperability, and that is what the push is for the future of the internet in general. Like anything that starts working towards more like unification is going to be at the forefront of that wave when it comes. So that's all I really wanted to say, was just to reinforce everything that Sean was just saying, but tying it back to like what is being done here in Decentraland. So I
So
love all you. I love all you all. I really do. And like I'll see you around, but I just wanted to come up and say that. And also make thank you for yesterday, and thank you for the shout out, and thank you Sin and Kanessa, and I hope you eat some food.
so I just want to say something really quick. First of all, you're amazing, Empress. And the reason why I come up here is not to say, hey, come over here. We're doing something better than what you guys are doing. We're building something a layer under that that enables anyone to build on open standards and give you guys a head start because I think your community is amazing. And I think at the end of the day, you can talk about games, you talk about anything, but you're here because you all know each other and you enjoy sharing. And it's the idea of connection and it's the idea of being heard and it's about being a part of something. And with the new standards for the web, you can create planet level maps that can unify everyone's own space within a Decentraland community that's very different than going to Walmart or going to this. Or Disney can build the Star Wars galaxy one to one scale, and that just becomes their 3D website for Star Wars. So the ability to build massive communities or places, you're now going to have so many communities, but they're all going to be interoperable. You're going to be able to go hang out with your Decentraland family and then I can go show up at a conference room in Germany because I have a meeting, or I'm going to go into an airport and have AI greeting me, or I'm going to go into a hospital with my AR glasses and be greeted by someone that brings me to where I need to go. These are things that just need to come together because if it doesn't, it's going to take decades for this spatialized, evolution to happen. And so this is a way for to embrace some of these new standards. And again, these are standards that can be used freely by anyone in the world. It's not can't be taken. It is going to work across all web browsers. It is a part of the evolution of the web that takes it outside of WebXR, but enables true native rendering. You no longer have to worry about monolithic gaming engines. It makes it easy for creatives, designers to get involved with easy set tools, world building, everything imaginable. And you can take any piece of software built by anyone and bring it in world with literally just grabbing it and dropping it, and instantly you have real software running. So to me, it's more about sharing kind of the evolution of that's happening. And I do believe that there will be a Decentraland planet that's a massive space with lots of people that have their own locations within that environment, and you'll easily be able to go there from any device, mobile, desktop, VR, AR, and communicate and have fun, and know that your avatar can go there, but it can also go to other communities and places that are built all over the world. And so I don't know, something exciting. But what I always love about you guys is I think you have one of the strongest communities of people that really care about each other and the technologies that are bringing you together. And I think that's the most important thing.
I agree wholeheartedly like, I mean, I'm newer to Decentraland, but the community here is strong as fuck. And my main thing that I feel and I've felt since I have returned is a community so strong deserves better technology and better treatment than it gets. So I think a lot of what you're saying is like it's a good um a lot of good things to think about and people to possibly connect with, and like it may also help with like a trajectory for like different builders in this space and the community as a whole. So your thank you so much, and thanks Sin and Kanessa again.
Yep, yep. And thank you to everyone that came up to speak. I think that would be the perfect ending to today's space. I'm actually like very, very hungry, so I'm gonna skip the final thoughts and just get my co-host's final thoughts over here. And yeah, we can continue along our day here because we do have a few events on Decentraland coming up. So, Vanessa, any final thoughts, comments, and or concerns that usually go back to you since you're
Yeah.
the HR department?
I think just stay balanced. Stay balanced. This is an amazing world. Tech is amazing, but dang, a sunset that'll do more for your soul than any of this. So uh, don't burn yourself out. Drink water, hydrate, touch grass, log back in. Um, Remember who you're building for, and always wear a helmet, kids. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I think that was my issue growing up. I never wore a helmet, fell on my head way too much, and then I found myself in the metaverse. Maybe there's a correlation, maybe there's not. But yeah, thank you, Vanessa, and Let's take a look here. See on screen some upcoming events here on Decentraland. There's the space trivia by the Gigalons starting at 4 p.m., which is in about maybe 45 minutes or so. Then at 5 p.m. Eastern, there is the World Explorer with Rishi Girl. She'll be streaming. I'm so proud of Rishi that she's streaming and stuff like that. She's out on Twitch doing her thing. 6 p.m. Eastern, ABC Decentraland Tours goes live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Classic Royale with Sebga. At 9 p.m. Eastern, we have DJ Los Cat taking the stage. And then at 10, their Crypto Minotaur and Austin Desheni over at Metaverse After Hours will be going live for some late night tune. Late night, at least in the East Coast. I don't know how late it goes on the West Coast. Maybe we that is an opportunity, a time slot for some West Coast DJs to start taking the stage on these Saturday, raids. So, and let's see, looking around the room, if I'm not mistaken, I know that Thigh Revolution down there in the listeners hosts a space every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Yep, I see it right here. Community of Communities, featuring Mud Mavericks, with Vexy, come and learn with us. Okay, so yeah, there's a space in about 45 minutes that Thy Revolution will be hosting through Community of Communities. And let's see, what else am I missing? Am I missing my self shill here? Yes. Beyond the NFT this week, we have Dan the Lost Boy coming through. And he will be our guest. And yeah, so Beyond the NFT is getting pudgy this week. Dan is a musician as well as a very loved Pudgy Penguins community member. He has performed at live shows where like literally like I remember like weeks before he performed at that live show, being in a space with Luca Netz, the found or not the founder, but the current president or CEO of Pudgy. Luca literally goes, "Hey Dan, you want to perform for this conference?" Dan goes, "Shit, yeah, man." And then boom, Dan performed at conference. So, uh, and also he has a series of pudgy songs through his label Pudgy Records. So should be a fun conversation. And then Tuesday there is the absolute basics of building in Decentraland, going live at noon Eastern. Last week's show was amazing. Canessa hosted Odd Job, and covered the uh, I mean, basically everything you need to know about land and like buying land at a fair price. Like that was a very important breakdown. And Canessa, have you shared that video on YouTube yet?
No, no, I haven't. I will get to that. If I don't do it right away, then it takes me a little time. So I will get that hopefully before Tuesday published.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, yeah. And do you have any thoughts on what the lesson plan will be for Tuesday?
I am a teacher, sir. I don't make my lesson plan until 10 minutes before I go live.
I knew my teachers were doing that the entire time. I had a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate to say it, No, if anybody has anything specific they want to learn, let me know. Otherwise, I'm deer in the headlights until I get a spark and then go from that. So, I don't know. What do you guys want to learn?
Hmm,
What
hmm, hmm.
kind of the sound my brain makes. It's kind of like a villager from Minecraft. Until it's showtime and then it's time. But I don't know. I'll think about what we haven't covered, and sometimes it's good to go back and like do the basics. So I don't know. But if somebody wants to learn something specific, just hit me up.
Yeah, totally, totally. And I mean, I feel like that's like the genuine like Web3 vibe. Like it's like it's not going to be a banger unless you came up with the curriculum, or in my case the questions, maybe like as the show is happening. There's no better pressure than showtime.
That's
uh,
right. Maybe I'll make Jimothy. How's that?
Oh my, yes, yes. Okay, then right there. Can we get a Jimothy? Like my vision, whenever I like, just threw it up there when with Odd Job, was like having like a Jimothy, like maybe like running in between alleyways, or like coming out across like on the on the stage and then just running across to an alley or something.
Oh my gosh,
Can
yes.
I have a pet, Jimothy, please?
Yeah.
I
We
don't want a
all need
skin. I want a pet
Jimothy.
that follows me around.
I know. I know. I have a cat that kind of looks like Jimothy, and I'm like,
Yes.
I need I need it. And I'm close enough I
Uh,
could go get it. And there's like people going to the community in the neighborhood where Jimothy lives. I'm like, yeah. Seattle
you
has
could
been so proud.
You could literally kidnap Jimothy, and I would endorse this. I would endorse the kidnapping of Jimothy because he would come to a better home, I believe. He
I
would be in
know.
Decentraland
I
with
know,
us.
but Jimothy has a family. We can't do that to Jimothy's mom. I'm sure she's out there. She's so proud. She's like, you can be whatever you want.
I was all
Mm.
set to let you guys go, but then somebody brought up Jimothy. Sinful. Um, but in terms of like having pets in world, all I'm gonna say is stay tuned.
Yes. Well, you hear that, Empress Trash? Some excitement. All right, all right. Enough of the Jimothy talk, but yeah.
I need Jimothy. I need Jimothy. I've been obsessed since it first popped
So do
off.
you want
So I
Jimothy to
just and I am not I haven't published anything. Oh,
sorry.
go ahead,
Oh, I was just
AJ.
gonna ask,
Sorry.
if you had your druthers, would you prefer Jimothy be on your shoulder or at your side, running alongside you?
Oh, probably running
Yeah,
alongside
me too.
me or
Okay.
both,
Or both.
but
Okay.
running
All right.
alongside me.
Okay. Well,
Well, because
yeah.
his walk is so unique.
Yes. Yeah.
I think like, like I think that's part of like his beautiful little charm,
Yes.
but also like how he climbs things is silly too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I think the walk would attract like I think that is the more distinctive thing of him.
All right. Stay tuned.
We got
Oh my
we
gosh.
got a panel of Jimothy experts here. We will do right by Jimothy. uh, okay.
Well, I mean, I know you guys are trying to leave, but I just want to say my Jimothy thesis of why I think so many artists love him is because his shape is so hard to draw, like create and draw. Like if you look at everyone's art at Jimothy, like he's a different shape. And like because as an artist, I'm a classically trained artist to like look at something and be able to render it, right? And Jimothy, I was like, like when I first saw him, I'm like, I have to draw him, and I'm like, I don't know how to draw him. He's the first thing I've seen in like a decade that I didn't know how to draw when I looked at him. So it's just like I think this is why he is so beloved by artists because he is this like complete glitch in like how nature works, but he
Le-
still exists and it's
Okay.
legit.
beautiful.
Legit. I spent probably 10 hours making that Jimothy model. I'm not even kidding.
I am amused. It's like drawing hands. Like, you know how artists, like each artist will draw hands like slightly different because it's I don't know, it's like they say it's the hardest thing to draw. But and here I thought the attraction to Jimothy was that we all see a little bit of Jimothy in within us.
But I just know his
I
mom.
think that too, but I think for artists specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
His mom
Like a
is
drawing
saying he
hands.
is perfect though. Like I know that. I know she's like you are just perfect. You are exactly the way you were meant to be.
Well, the videos of him as a baby with his mom like super is protective of him. So, yes, she thinks he's a perfect little angel. And like for nature, so the thing is in nature a lot of times when animals are born defect like with a like some sort of deformity or defect or something, a lot of times they're just cast out. Like they're not even taken care of by different animals. I'm not saying raccoons are like that, but it's like a lot of animals are like that. So that's the other thing of like it shows that nature isn't just cruel, but also like animals like raccoons, they're domesticating themselves. So when, as part of the domestication process of animals in general, is they start emulating human behavior because they're watching us all the time, whether we realize it or not. And so like it very much could be that like within Seattle it's like these raccoons, they have enough resources through the trash, and then they see humans taking care of other humans that may not be functional as like a full functional human, and they very well could just be like mimicking how they're seeing the humans do it as a way to like domesticate themselves and show that like, oh well, we are like more like humans than we are like other animals. Like don't underestimate when an animal wants to be domesticated, like they will get domesticated, and raccoons want to be domesticated. That is like scientists are 100% in agreement on that. So um yeah, it's really interesting. And as someone who loves trash animals and also animal behavior, it is like one of the best things in the world. And I should just host a Jimothy space and talk about Jimothy for like 10 hours today. But instead, I'm going to go work. Thank you. Love you all. Bye.
Have a great day. And yeah, everyone else here listening today, have a great day. We love you. We appreciate your time. Like 215 weeks deep. And we still have the friends coming through, still holding it down with our friends like that come up to speak as well. Like I don't know. I always feel like there's never like, there's we're never limited on topics that we can cover. Like we kind of like transcend so many things like within this community. Like it's like yes, we can get into our metaverse talk, or I mean we could go a little deeper into like, the philosophy of like everything that we're creating, or even, what's going on in our everyday lives. That's what's special about having a community of just like people from all around the world, because all our situations are very different, and definitely like speaking about it is a way that we could all come closer together. All right, enough of my ramble. Sorry, Canessa. You can go have your donuts now. I know I've been holding you from them, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.